We have game number 1 here between Vietnam Legends and Frantic. With me is BBQTurkman. I will introduce the Vietnam Legends team, then I'll pass it along to BBQTurkman to do Frantic. In the orange, we have Backed. He's playing on his €8 account. He is playing as the Mayans. And then we have Say My Name. Say My Name is playing as the Franks. And just a heads up, Turkman, it's probably best to just say My Name's color. If you don't know the history behind why that is, just trust me. Follow my advice on that one. And
look, I ain't getting clipped on this. I ain't getting clipped.
Yeah. So anyway, man, the map is desert. That is the Vietnamese team. Who do we have then for Frantic?
So towards the south of the map, playing in the green as the Franks, we have Tim. So an awesome kind of civilization for him up straight away, especially on such an open map. Towards the north side of the map there, in the cyan, light blue, whatever you want to call it, we do have CL as the Mayans. Frantic looking strong.
Yeah, they both have the same civs, and the first thing I noticed right off the bat is CL's map is so freaking wallable, man. Like, this guy, he walls maps that should not be walled, and then he has 3 wood lines which form a circle around his base. The only vulnerable area for him will be his main gold if he tries to full wall this, but he even has a stone as Mayans protected in the back here. I think for Vietnam, you have to be very careful about allowing CL to wall up, or if he walls up, you have to know he could go for plumed archers, which is kind of the meta with these civs.
Absolutely. Just in general here, the map you've kind of talked about, he can wall up so easily. And as a Mayan player in general, they want to get to that late game. That's where they really kind of come into it. So if he can get there quickly without having to really sacrifice too much time, he's going to be in an awesome position to pump out those plumes, get in, do some damage. And if you can't slow him down, if he manages to full boom up, you're looking at Eagle Warriors, you're looking at... It's just got so many options you can kind of go in with, do so much damage in general.
Yeah. And Franks, they have the strong Frank scouts, so oftentimes we'll see players open up with scouts, then go into knights, and you're right, Mayans have that eagle option. I think for a while now we'll probably see, or for the first 30 to 40 minutes, we'll probably see plumed archers. That way you have the plumed archer and knight combination. Backed, I'm looking at his map now. What do you think about it? It's a bit more open for the Mayan player.
Yeah, I'm having a look at kind of everyone at the moment, and at least he's got the backwood there, so it's not too bad. Gold's in the back, so could be worse. Not going to get that wall off across the front, though, that we can see from CL, so in a little bit of a disadvantage there. Probably the big thing I'm really looking at is red in general here. If you have a look at where his lumber line is and the openness of his base, that spells trouble to me straight away.
Wow, that is a really tough map. It's almost like Frantic have hit the lottery here. Not only does CL have the best possible map for his civ and style, but Red has the worst map for his civ. If he wants to get to knights, if he wants to get to multiple TCs, then it's going to be tough for him. Jeez.
Yeah, it's just not going to be an easy play in general. We can already see Back trying to get up the Great Wall across the front of the map there. Looks like he is going to be leaving Red a little bit on his own, so we'll see how this one does play out in general here.
Yeah.
But you're exactly right. As considering we've got Franks on there, we can get some really early scouts out, some really early strong scouts onto the match. It means that this kind of open play in general, he's got nowhere to retreat those villages to. He's going to have to get something up there early to make it just defendable.
Yeah. Well, I will keep my eyes on Backed because he likely wants to go for plumes, as I said. He is sending some stone miners out, and he's going for a pretty big wall. 3 villagers now, but he'll probably complete that, and he needs to because Tim on the other team, he'll be going for scouts soon. The same is then for player 2 on the Vietnamese team, so maybe he'll be able to help Backed out a little bit. One thing's for sure, Turkman, he will not be able to get into CL's base, as CL is almost full walled already.
We're at just over 8.5 minutes, and it's already got those full walls up. That shows you exactly how easy it was to get these walls going in this map. The way that man, just looking at the trees, the way it's set out, it is perfect. And I think it would have been stupid not to go for it, especially in such a tournament game. Back, though, finishing up his walls as well. Obviously not as lucky, but he's making it happen.
Yeah, and the only vulnerable thing will be his stone, but I don't think any range units will come into play here early on, so he might have the time to get the plumed archers up. Really, we just have to shift our focus now to the players who are going scouts. And we have player 2 here. Where's his barracks being built? His barracks being built to the north of the TC. The stable will go up. And then we'll probably have Tim in the south doing the same. And yes, even Tim, He's getting the walls up pretty soon as well now, Turkman. He can wall in towards the edge of the map, and he'll secure that golden stone in the back.
Yeah, both Frank's players obviously going for the stable nice and early. Both our mine players have walled up. We do have, exactly like you said, Red's kind of finishing up his walls there, so going to have a little bit more of an option to defend that wood line we were a little bit worried about. Tim going down with the exact same kind of play there. Again, a little bit easier to wall, and there's Tim with the stone walls, actually. So that'll be interesting towards the top of his base there.
Wow.
But not looking to really take any damage.
You know, I love it because, as I said at the start, Frantic, they have a pretty defined style. Everybody knows they like their walls. Everybody knows that CL will go for full walls minute 5. And so here we go. I mean, and I'm not even exaggerating. CL placed walls minute 5 in the north there. So much so that he missed out on those sheep, I guess. But, yeah, here come the scouts. I just wonder if Say My Name will be walled. I made the mistake. If Say My Name will be full walled at this rate, because he's kind of making this work. The only thing is that main gold is still tough.
Oh, it's not an easy task to kind of go for. The amount of villager time he's had to put in, I guess it kind of balances out. Well, not really, because really him and Back just had the worst time. Everyone's walled up, but looking at their bases, man, it is just a rough time. That front gold going to be easy to harass with any kind of scout play. It's not far enough to the town center. Does have the spear out though, so he is kind of predicting some of that play to come in. Has walled to the town center, so his back's kind of free, which means as we do kind of get to the late game, he does have a lot of safe space he can boom up into. But that said, everyone's looking like they've got a whole heap of room really to be able to maneuver with at the moment.
Yeah, it's amazing. Good players make bad maps wallable, and that's exactly what player 2 has done here. Now, there he goes out to the gold. Fortunately for him, Tim ran right into the TC fire. I think that Red will have to shift towards more defensive mindset so he can get his economy right, because sure, they made scouts, but everyone's walled now. You probably want to get right towards knights. And speaking of Castle Age, we have backed NCL on the way, so they will get for plumes soon enough, Turkman.
Yeah, the Mayan players are wasting no time here. They knew they were safe behind their walls because all that was really going to be coming in was scouts, and if it was much more than that, they'd kind of be one step behind, if that makes sense. So being able to wall up, get those castles up, get archeries out, whatever kind of they want to go for, they're going to be able to make that play, because we do, of course, have CL on stone, backed on stone as well. So we're going to be seeing those nice early castles, and then from there, plumes, and that's what will start to control the matchup, start to control exactly where people can poke and prod.
Yeah, so for the next couple moments, we just need to see if Tim can do damage here. He's going to try and pressure the gold. He will not find any holes in player 2's walls. He does have more scouts, and he has a forward spear here. The blacksmith is
dropped down in defense.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a wall off, I guess, and there are 2 spears. Can Say My Name hold this? It is dicey, but
the sneaky wall.
Is that even? I don't even know if that's good though. Like, you know, like the scouts. Sure, it keeps the scouts close by, but now Tim kind of made it through there, and he might be able to harass a little bit more. But anyway, the castles are probably going up. Tim takes the fight here before the spears arrive. I just want to take a look over at the other bases. And Backed is building his castle, and then so is CL. So soon the plumes will come into the equation, Turkman.
Yeah, really good placement from CL there as well. He's actually using that castle not only to defend the lumber line, but to defend his main gold as well. Backed having his main gold in the back, obviously not going to be able to feel pressure too much, but does have a town center going up back there as well. So really looking to get on the villager production at the same time here. So I'd say that's probably the big kind of call in terms of difference he's made towards CL here, who's still sitting on that one town center.
Yeah, I'm looking at the ecos now for the Frank players. Say My Name's getting pretty close. He is killing Tim's scouts now, which is nice. And Tim will advance a little bit faster, so yes, Tim was able to get some harassment in. He lost his scouts, but he advances to Castle Age faster, which means he'll get knights faster. And this is going to put pressure on Bacht, actually, to keep Say My Name propped up for a few moments. Because Say My Name will be in castle, but his gold's exposed and he'll need some protection.
Yeah, looking at it at the moment, it's going to come down to who's kind of got the plumes on field and who can do that poking and prodding. I'm seeing the second stable get thrown down by Red, so nice and early there, plus Tim as well. So both players looking to get aggressive here. Shouldn't be going for too much of a boom behind this, but those plumes are kind of where the poking, the prodding is going to start. and then we'll see the Knights kind of come in and do the damage where they can. What are you thinking? They're going to be able to make plays with the Knights here? How are they going to make it work?
Well, Knights are much stronger in early Castle Age because they're stronger in lower numbers. And also, while players are making plumed archers, they're going for TCs as well. So you won't see anyone at this level in a 2v2 over-invest into the plumed archers. They'll go for TCs as well. And here comes CL with 3 plumes. Now he's going to focus down the spears from Say My Name. But Bakht is here as well, so I think Bakht with that small hill will be able to protect his ally. But yeah, Turkman, basically what I said, Knights will be stronger, so keep an eye out on Tim because he'll be sending them out soon. But once the plumed archers get massed and get more upgrades, then it's really about the plumes.
Completely agree with you there on front. So with those Knights, really, they kind of have to take the engagements where they can as early as possible. Basically, as soon as we start seeing that critical mass or that just bulk of plumed archers come out, that's where it becomes harder and harder for them to kind of pick the engagements.
This game is so close. You have 3 TCs for Bakht. You have... Oh, you know what? There is a difference in style. Oh, no, I lied. CL will be on 3 TCs now as well. Oh, we have the plumed archers fighting on the hill. And it is notable that CL has fletching, and there's no fletching for Bakht. However, Bakht has more numbers, and he had the hill. So he forces CL Bakht.
Man, I'm going to laugh at too many of those in the chat. Just going to think I'm pathetic, but I am just a sucker for it. But amazing job there by Bakht overall, managing to get good placement, and that's really going to help him. There we go. So Red's starting to pull out the Knights as well, so he's going to be able to really help defend that. Plus the TC going down on the front gold. He's got that area pretty much cemented now.
Yeah, and now with a small hill advantage, Vietnam's going to take the fight. Again, no fletching, though. So with Tim with +2 Knights... It's really interesting. The Vietnamese team, they're behind in Knight upgrades. They're also behind in Plume upgrades. But they have the home field advantage. Is that going to be enough here? I feel like Tim's +2 should really help out. The Plumes will not do near as much damage. And Bakht is getting fletching now, Turkman. They know they need to deal with this.
The upgrades need to come in. They need to bring it back to a little bit more of a level field. Because that's the thing. They can get those snipes. They can run around. And it's just making those units so much more cost-effective in trades. And that's really the way you're going to win out in the early game. So getting those little upgrades in there, getting the sneaky fights, picking off one unit here and there, it does make a difference.
Another thing I want to point out is just the map in general. There's a lot of gold in the center. So as time goes on, players will want map control, and that's exactly what Frantic has now in Game 1. The Plumed Archer style, the meta is to build that initial castle, go to 3 TCs, and then late Castle Age build a second castle. So I just wonder where that second castle will be if it happens. Bakht, for example, he might want to use it to protect his ally. I might want to see the Frantic player CL build it more offensively because they have a little bit more map control.
That's a perfect point there to make as well. Each player did start off with 1 main gold. From there, they are forced to kind of venture out into that desert section, obviously, where the map kind of gets its name. So being able to push out into there, it's going to come down to a lot of that map control and to who can kind of, I guess, like I said, it's a poking and prodding, seeing who's going where you can kind of get, where you can stop them pushing out, where you can halt that, where you can maneuver out. And, ooh, I see a fight at the top.
Yeah, this is the benefit of having that map control, right? You can go, when your opponent's waiting for you, you can switch directions and go in, and that's exactly what Frantic have done here. Great communication from Tim and CL, and they're actually just going to run back, but this is still giving them tons of freedom, right? Because Bakht and Say My Name are chasing. So I think that's a good decision to leave, actually. They would have been way behind in numbers. And, wow, Tim arrives. The main TC on the gold. He kills a few villagers. This is a sick move from Tim that distract in the back of the base. They go in, they go out, and then they arrive to the TC. 3 vills down for Say My Name.
It's just smart play in general. Like we've been saying, we've been having some phenomenal teamwork in these matches. And that's exactly what you were saying there as well. Being able to have that map control, maneuver around and poke up there, force them out of position, snag a few villagers. Do the same. We've also got Bakht moving out to the center as well. Looks like he does have his castle coming up, so there's your answer on where that's going to be placed.
Yeah, going up next to the gold. I like that decision, and I don't think we're too far off from CL building his. He's at 555 stone. The armies, I mean, we're only 26 minutes into the game, and just look at the vill and army counts. This is insane. The plumes will get stronger and stronger, but still, there's way more knights. And what a fight here. Both teams have a small hill. The CL needs to get on top of this hill, I think, before they take another engagement, and they do. And it's not looking too good for Vietnam, man. They are behind.
Well, we've got CL going down with ballistics as well, so there's not going to be even any of those stragglers being able to get away now. He's doing the damage against the Knights, and they're holding those hills perfectly. The communication here has been just absolutely ace.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Question is, should Bact have built his castle a little bit closer to this? Probably would have been risky, but the fights, just looking at the fights and the kill-death ratio, been much better for Frantic here in Game 1, and this is right next to Say My Name's gold. I feel bad for the guy, but they need an answer to this.
Yeah, the stranglehold's coming in at this point. If he gets pushed off that gold, if he goes back, he's not going to have anything he can really do about it. The gold's all in the center, and at the end of the day, in Age of Empires, gold is just the absolute king. It's where the knights are coming from. It's where archers are going to come from. Everything that can really stand up to it. And Plumes being such a cost-effective unit as well.
Yeah, man.
That
like
engagement.
4 or 5 knights down. Say My Name feels like he's forced to do something, but this is not the time, my friend. I don't know if there will be a time. Maybe Bact hitting the Imperial Age sooner than CL will be the difference maker, but Tim is probably going to have a faster imp at this rate, so Tim will probably get to Cavalier before Say My Name can, and this might spiral out of control. And Tim signaling now to CL that they might want to go through these palisade walls, and here they come in. I think this time around they can stay if they get through.
Man, CL's just making use of every shot here, every second. If there's no kind of big fight going on, if the Plumes aren't choosing to engage, they're snagging a villager on the gold, they're snagging a villager on the farms. He's just going ham over fist in efficiency here. Look at that, taking the villagers first, knowing he can get rid of them quickly, and then the knight engage happens, so he gets involved in that.
Yeah, it's truly insane. He has 31 kills and 9 deaths. That is it. So it's almost like Vietnam needs to hold this now. And I think they just might. Tim loses some of his knights. I'd still say that's cost efficient for them, though.
Well, at the end of the day, it's going to mean they can kind of hold on here, but still, CL with that kind of, I guess, just the stutter step there in general, it was just an awesome play.
Yeah.
But Say My Name and Bact basically get to live on at this point.
Yeah, they do, but look at the castles on the front from CL. 2 castles right next to the golds. Now, he is taking some losses because he doesn't have Tim next to him. This would be the moment for Bact with Bracer on the way to clean up the numbers from CL. CL cannot afford to micro and stutter step now. And Tim comes in to help. What a game here. It's looking good for Frantic with map control, but maybe Bact with the faster Bracer will get a good advantage for his team.
It'll definitely help, but those castles used as a staging point here, that's going to be a massive one. They're going to be able to push in on the town centers, they can deny the gold, deny any forward expand from Say My Name as well. But the engagements, if they can get it back to obviously up into Imperial, oh, that's a big engagement there with the Cav.
Yeah, lots of knights going down. Yet again, it's all about the plumed archers, right? The knights are basically a meat shield. I feel like Say My Name is going to need some real help. Bact needs to carry this victory if they're going to get it, because here come the Trebs now for CL immediately. Soon, Say My Name will have no gold whatsoever. And I'm still waiting for Tim. You know, he's actually making more knights. And look at his base! Look at his stables! Look who's there! Bact has arrived. He's building a castle in his face because he knows he can do that because CL is forward. Wow, what a play.
Oh, this might be the thing they kind of need to change it around here, make a little bit of a difference, because at the moment we did have Say My Name really kind of hurt towards the front of his base there. And look, in they all come as well. They're here, they're going to make sure this castle goes up, and Tim doesn't really have much here to defend. He's got no castle, he's got no units. Man!
Yeah, get your stone walls, your stone gates ready, Tim. Just wall up as much as possible. Funny thing is, both of the Frank players seem to be struggling. Red has no gold whatsoever. Unfortunately, that was all in the front, as we said before. But what does Tim do now? Bact has 35 military. That is way more than CL. He got the upgrades earlier. And Tim maybe should go for a cheap castle or something back in the middle of his base here where he's building this TC just to stall Bact if he gets in.
Even then, we've got the Trebuchet on the way out from Bact at the castle there as well. So the castle won't even hold him that long overall. But look at it, the base now. There goes the town center for Red. The Trebuchet's doing their damage, and look at this. He's just chasing him across the map at this point. It's basically a base race.
Oh my god, all the villagers are running. I know that player 2 is an experienced nomad player. Well, he's going to need to use those strategies now. This is just a massacre, man. He's at 96 population. Tim is definitely holding on better, but here come the Trebs from Bact. Here come the Knights from Say My Name. And Tim could be next. It's just a matter of CL helping Tim or CL completely wiping up Say My Name. Or both. We'll see. This is crazy.
Man, I'm just kind of figuring out how this is going to go from here, and I guess it's going to come down to how well Tim can hold this,
Yep.
and whether CL kind of needs to move his aggression across and get more of that defense going on, or if he can really try and finish off Red in general and put some pressure on the back, then hopefully the pressure on back, in turn, will pull the pressure away from Tim.
Yep.
But man, it's base race scenario.
That's pretty much what it came down to. It's worth pointing out that Say My Name has TCs in the center, so he is getting some gold now, despite his main golds being disrupted. And wow, back to slinging resources now to player 2. So he's trying to get him back in the game, maybe get him to Imp, then get him to Cavalier. Tim's losing TCs, man. Tim's losing villagers. Tim's population is higher, so he has that, but he's not contributing with much. That's the problem. He's not really doing much. He has a few knights, but will that do anything against mass plumed archers? I don't think so. I think he needs to get to Imp.
That's it, man. And it's one of those things. He does have higher population. For how long, though? He's got plumed archers in his base. The worst is yet to come for him, whereas Red in general has been pretty much gutted alive.
Yep.
So that's pretty much the extent for him. Whereas Tim, this could be the beginning of the end, or he might be able to hold it. That's what it's going to kind of come down to here.
Yep. And CL now getting coinage, so that is a sign that he will send resources to Tim. And CL and Tim are in Back's base, so this will pull back to Backed. And he should, with the castles close by, be able to clean this up. It's just a matter of time. And I think CL and Tim, since they're kind of trapped now, they need to be as annoying as possible, stay in here as long as possible. And wow, the push back at Tim's base now. I think that Tim and CL can clean this up, Turkman.
Yeah, and the way they've kind of set it up, they've had the Knight bulk come in, they've got the plumed archers behind it, the Trebs are there. Gonna obviously take out the Trebs straight away to kind of stop any push onto their Treb kind of happening. And they're gonna clean this up pretty quickly here. It's definitely not looking good for VNA.
Yeah, 20 more military for CL now. As CL is going to build a castle next to all of this as he's trebbing down Back's forward castle. Is it just a matter of time now? It's worth pointing out, player 2 is on the way to the Imperial Age, so maybe while Vietnam's struggling, when he gets to Imp, they'll be able to be okay. But man, CL with his huge ball of plumes, he's all over Back's TC. I kind of like the approach to get Tim to make more knights. It seems to have worked here.
Yeah, not wrong at all. The way this is kind of played out, I'm kind of seeing this is the way Frantic saw it going as soon as they kind of started that base race scenario. Just hold out long enough, get some knights out, and then we can kind of move away from there.
Yeah. How many castles is CL going to have now? He's on 5 castles. This dude has been an absolute beast last weekend and this weekend.
Absolute MVP this match. He's just been able to come through and stomp kind of everything. Just looking over at Red's base at the moment, I've just seen so many idle villages over the last couple of minutes. Look at where he's been forced to expand out to. They're just open areas where a couple of knights could really just get in and destroy the entire eco. But good engagement going on at the moment. Oh, I say good, but
yeah,
not for someone.
It's not very good for Tim. You know what? This game isn't great for most people, right? I think Back's having a hard time. The only one is that CL. He hasn't taken any damage back at his base. He's been on the ball all game. And Red losing more villagers on his gold. He's trying to tech into Cavalier at the moment, but will it be quick enough? Tim is all in Castle Age, but okay, now the sling comes in, so CL will send him some food, maybe some gold, so Tim will hit Imp. My apologies.
Oh man, I'm just looking at this at the moment. It's essentially a 2v1 scenario as well. If you look, you've got Backed on bloody 52 military, Red on 7.
Yeah.
You've got Tim on 31, CL on 64. He's just so out-popped at the moment. And being able to use just the knights as a bulk, even light cavalry worked in there now as well. The Trebs behind this, they can't push in to deal with that. It's just going to be a slow kind of push to the end here.
I think that it's just a matter of time now, right? With Tim on the way to the Imperial Age, and with so many more military numbers, Back's losing castles. They're losing control of every gold pile in the center. Yeah, this is not going to be easy, man. But I just want to talk about CL yet again. Last time around, he was beasting against Leary and Hart. And here we are in the semifinals. He's beasting against Say My Name and Backed. And this is just game 1 of a best of 5. But man, he's been so impressive.
This has been phenomenal gameplay, just in general. Like, that said, I'm kind of wondering what these villages are doing from Say My Name towards the bottom of the map here. There's kind of some just hanging out, about to get spotted by all that light cavalry. I don't know if it was going for something sneaky or just trying to expand out, but I have a feeling it's probably not going to work.
Yeah, whatever they wanted to do, whether it was collect lumber or or sneak is not going to happen. And oh my goodness, this fight on the front, plume on plume. The Knights from Tim are here. He's going to wait for his upgrades, though. You know what? The big key is siege ram as well, oftentimes when you're trying to deal with plumed archers. So we do have siege rams in the mix now for CL, which could help.
Absolutely. The Knights aren't just acting as the bulk now. You've got the siege rams in there to kind of soak up that much as well. Kind of frees the Knights up to get in, do a little bit more damage as well and not be quite reserved. But at the same time, there's just, how do you push into this?
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's kind of 50-50 at the moment, but Say My Name needs to get into the equation with his Cavalier. He needs to do it now because Tim's getting his upgrades. Tim has way more numbers. It's just that Back doesn't have the numbers now. He's only at 50 military bursts, the 83 military of CL. He's pop capped 200 pop. He's slinging his ally. It is all CL in this game. And I think with the siege rams pushing in now, Backed, he'll lose a castle, he'll lose his trebs, and this could be the end of the game.
Alright, I think we're getting seen ready for a last stand here. We've got the Cavalier on the front, we've got the Plumes there as well, trying to clean up those siege rams as quickly as possible. The Trebs just sitting behind it. I have a feeling this is going to be the fight.
Yep, the Trebs deploy on the castle from Backed. Backed has a hill, so they need to hold this. And Tim's Cavalier and Blast Furnace is completing just as we speak. They're both going to patrol in. Plumed Archer v. Plumed Archer, Cavalier v. Cavalier. Who will win this fight? It seems like it's going to be much better for Frantic.
They've just been in such a good position. Obviously, Backed having the hill there, going to help. But the numbers are just what's going to win this.
Yeah. And I think soon after, the GG might be called. It seems like the Vietnamese players, yeah, they're going to call it now. Once this hill is done, they are done. And that is game one. And what a game run. Game one, excuse me, from Frantic. CL and Tim, they were so on point with their communication. There were a few instances where the Vietnamese guys were kind of out of position, where the Vietnamese guys didn't know where to go. But CL and Tim, they play so well together, Turkman. It was crazy.
You're not wrong. That's it. Being able to push on that palisade at the same time and kind of push in together, being able to get into the back of the base there, move back together. The coordination's really kind of what got them ahead in the early game. A couple of good snags, a couple of good plays, but they were together. That's the thing. They weren't poking and prodding by themselves. They were using the bulk of their force together, and it meant it was so hard for players to engage them by themselves.
Yeah, and obviously this is a team game, so you have to give Tim credit, because if Tim didn't have the knight numbers, then CL wouldn't have the luxury of being able to go for the initiative or go for the forward castles, right? So, yes, CL was kind of the carry role here, but Tim is kind of what allowed him to do that. But we are going to move on to game two next. We can't spend too much time talking about this. Interestingly enough, you look at the achievements, 199 kills for both the Mayan players. That's kind of a funny stat right there, but look at the Frank players then, and Tim did a much better job at killing units. He also did a much better job at not losing units. And Say My Name, I feel bad for him because in game one you don't want a map like that, but I do think that he could have done a little bit more. It could have been the late Castle Age, in all honesty. He just fell behind in numbers. Game number two, we'll tell you about the map next. That'll be coming up within a few minutes, everybody. I just got a message from someone on Voobly. Said, OMG, you're almost 2K. I'm not sure if I should be offended. Anyway, man, what a game. What a game.
It was good. Both players, well, both teams, I should say, played a relatively standard game overall, but it didn't work out badly. We got to see kind of what they can do. It'll be nice to see if we get it kind of mixed up a little bit, or if both teams kind of go, all right, that worked, or that was close. I reckon if we kind of pull it in this section, we can kind of go head to head with them, or if someone tries to pull something interesting out of the bag.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of strategies, they went for the same strat. It was just that Frantic performed it better. So perhaps if you're Vietnam Legends, then I don't think they'd be thinking this, but hypothetically, if they felt like they were not as good with performing the same meta as Frantic, they could try and switch up either how they play or what civs they choose. The maps are always different, of course, so it's important that teams prepare and they know what the possibilities are going into each match.
Well, that's it. There's so many options that players have, especially in 2v2, and the teams that are really kind of pulling ahead at the moment, they're not teams that are playing it as two 1v1s simultaneously. They're teams playing the way we saw in that game, where they're together, they're bulking their forces, they're doing team strategies, and we saw a lot of that in actually the Section 1. We kind of had this one straight away, especially from SY in general. They really kind of played out the box, but played that team strategy, and that's where teams are really starting to pull ahead.
Yeah, man. Well, we'll take this time to chill out a little bit. Is it cool with you if I give shout-outs to a few people who subscribe to the stream?
Mate, you do what you need to do.
All right, cool. So, Soapsud Bud, thank you for the new sub, man. Marcus, thank you for the Prime. Had to Jammer, thank you for a whole year, man. Well, maybe not. He said here because of Dave. Ouch. No, I'm kidding. Thank you for a whole year, man. Appreciate it. Boner Patrol 77. What a username. Keep patrolling, dude. Thank you for the 8 months. And I think
I was so happy I was muted then.
You were muted? Yeah. Oh, man. Well, it was a good start, I think. And we will have Kilimanjaro next. Okay, cool. So a very open map. It is CL, but I don't think that he'll be able to wall this up. But it is CL. I don't know. I think he can probably wall up. Let's see. What map is the hardest to wall? Anti-force nothing. He could probably wall up that map.
Look, it can definitely be done. I guess the question is more than anything, because it is his strategy. It's kind of what he goes for. He's really comfortable playing behind those walls. Even if he doesn't do it at the start, when does he decide to go for it?
Yeah. Well, we'll find out. It'll be easier for us to know when we see the civilizations. So for now, man, I'm sipping my tea. I know it's like 1 a.m. for you, but it's 10:40 a.m. for me, which is not that early, but normally I only wake up around 10, so this is early for me. This is my 6:30 a.m. for other people.
Oh, rough. I don't even know what this is for me. I do this like once a month just for escape, and
yeah,
I don't think I would have it any other way.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful, you know? It's serene.
Well, Robo, man, he does it every weekend. He has his job, and then he's always up at crazy times for Age of Empires 2. You Aussies are crazy.
It's dedication to the game. It's one of those things you see it from a lot of people in the community.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. All right, guys, welcome. We have game number 2. This is between Frantic and Vietnam Legends. This is in the Escape Champions League. And last time around, Tim and CL performed very, very well. And I also think that Turkman performed really, really well as a co-caster. So happy to have him here.
Aww.
Happy to have him here again.
That's so cute.
For CL, we have... for Frantic, we have CL. He's playing as the Malians in the teal, or Cyan. And then we have Tim way across the other side of the map. He's playing as the Magyars. And we got to keep to the same system here. This is kind of like practice games for us, because we'll be casting on the Escape stream in a few hours. I'm going to let you do the other team then, Turkman. You can go right on to Vietnam Legends.
No worries. For the Vietnamese Legends, here we go. We have Say My Name in red, playing as the Magyars. I'm waiting for that to pop up somewhere now. And then obviously in the orange as well, we have Backed playing under €8 as the Ethiopians.
Yeah, so we do not have a mirror matchup this time. We have Malians and Magyars versus Ethiopians and Magyars. Magyars probably chosen because of the strong scout rush. Normally you want someone to go scouts and someone to go archers. But what's interesting is we have Malians and then Ethiopians. I think Ethiopians was the sure pick for me here. But they went with Malians instead. We'll see what tricks CL might have up his sleeve, because he'll be up against faster firing archers on his side.
It's an interesting one, because I haven't really seen this map a whole heap in competitive play as of recent.
Yeah.
Probably big things to note overall: ostriches instead of deer, pretty much the same overall. Elephants gonna give you 400 food. That's probably the first things to take away if you haven't seen a lot on this map overall. Goats as well, same as sheep, so don't really worry about that one too much. Trees gonna be super, super dispersed, and obviously as you get towards the top, or middle of the map, I should say, it becomes the top of the map. So anyone that kind of holds that area, if you're pushing down, you will have that hill advantage.
Yep. And as you were explaining that, I think I might know what the starting plan is for CL at least. So it's a very open map, right? And the wood lines are very difficult to wall. For example, you look at Back's wood line. This one villager's on the opposite side. So you would need a lot of palisades to full wall your wood line, and even then you could chop through. So one thing Malians are good at is their man-at-arms rush. They have that free pierce armor per age. So while Backed might consider going straight into archers, Malian Man-at-Arms could completely destroy him before he gets those archers. So maybe we will see that. Backed might need to consider going for his own Man-at-Arms kind of as a buffer prior to the archers.
I think you're pretty on point there with the call, man. I really like it because the Malians in general, as a pick for this, it should be really strong. I mean, they've got the buildings costing less wood, barracks units, like you said, more pierce armor from feudal age. So kind of when they get into that man-at-arms play, it gives them a really easy ability to kind of transition to that, even from dark, and then push that out. And if you can kind of get in there and do the damage early, get this nitty-gritty, on a map like this where it's so open, there's so sparse wood lines, it's perfect.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out, man. Look at all the water surrounding Say My Name. There's tons of water here. I know that's kind of the norm, but it's a map that's maybe more wallable than the last one for him. If he could wall these little choke points. We'll find out soon enough. And yes, Malians are very versatile as the game goes on, but you need to think of the compositions that teams will use. So you normally have scouts and knights, and then you have archers into crossbows or archers into cav archers. You need a melee ranged combo. So that's why Malians for me is a little bit confusing at the start, because they probably won't be going for their cavalier later on. You'll probably have the Magyar player going for paladin. We will find out soon enough. There's a few unanswered questions, but it won't take long for us to get those answers.
Oh, that's it. In the way these games are being played, they've been shaping up into just phenomenal matches pretty much from the get-go. Players have been going hard. They aren't really giving a lot away. We've got Back there pulling in a little bit of extra gold, so we know what he's kind of doing with that play. Barracks getting dropped down by him now. And as for CL, there comes the barracks as well.
Now let's see if Backed makes these man-at-arms. Yes, so he's going to make a few militia. And you know what? CL's barracks is much later, which makes me think, oh, he's going forward. He's going forward. He might make the militia. I'm not sure, but he's going forward for at least one tower.
It's beautiful. That's what it is. We've got villages on stone there. We know what's up. The barracks is there, and I'm not seeing no militia on the way as of yet.
He doesn't have the food for
interesting.
it. Yeah, he does not have the food for it, so I don't think he'll be making them. No, there's one. It's maybe it's just his overall build that was just off. But
interesting, yeah.
He has scouted the stone, so he sees the stone on the right. He sees the stone on the left for Back. We will focus on the left-hand side once they get their stables up, and that is my assumption at this point that it will be going scouts. Will Back to recognize what's happening here, because he does have man-at-arms. It's not like he can't stop this, but I don't think he knows about it.
Well, that's it. I've got his Fog of War on at the moment. He hasn't actually scouted this. You can see the scouts kind of hanging around his gold there, trying to see what's going on. Have we got any construction on the way yet? No. Still trying to pick a spot to get aggressive, but he hasn't seen this at all.
If CL just places 2 towers, one there, and then the other one to the left. Well, actually, I don't like that tower. I would have liked it more offensive in between the gold and the stone. But my point is he can deny both golds and both stones, and Backed will have nothing to go to if he loses them. And Backed's building a mining camp, dude. He has no clue. He has no clue. As he goes to CL's base, and CL, for the most part, is protected and walled up.
That's pretty much perfect timing there as well. The second tower comes down right as the first one pops, denies that gold, or I should say most of that gold anyway. The second tower going to be dividing pretty much the base in half. There goes the tower, going to try and run. Oh, no!
Dude, you want to see something crazy? Look below Backed's wood line. What does he have there? A gold, but he can't see it. The Fog of War is the same shape of the gold. Look at that. He can't see it. So he could have that to fall back on. Maybe he'll get lucky. For now, he does not know it's there, and he'll have to go into skirmishers to stop the towers from CL. And wow, CL's going for a ballsy third tower. I don't know if you want to go for that one, buddy. That's a bit extreme, but he is going to place it, and Bax is going to have to place his only defensive tower now.
He goes for it, absolutely. He's got those militia, the scout. There's 2 skirmishes, 2 archers. He should be able to push this back somehow. There's no range shift in play for CL, but he's getting the tower rushed up either way, so he is getting at least some idle time. And looking over at CL's base, those men-at-arms really haven't accomplished much.
Well, CL, he loses one, Bill. Oh, man, I mean, it's not the best to lose a villager there. Of course, at home, as you said, the man-at-arms haven't done anything against CL, but when you have Vills forward there, not collecting eco, and he loses 2 Vills. Nice defense from Bact. And on the other side, Tim was trying to push in and say my name's base. He picked off a Vill on the wall, and so at least he is offensive now, but Tim might be the one who needs to carry a little bit. CL did so last time. Tim will probably be hearing in TeamSpeak that the forward has kind of been slowed down. Aggressive game, which is what we expected on a map like this. I just wonder if Bact will be able to push back and counterattack at any time soon with mainly skirmishers.
Well, as soon as he kind of builds that force up, he's going to be in a position to. Obviously, the gold going to be his big weakness there. He hasn't scouted the one behind, like you've mentioned. That's just such bad luck. Another tower getting thrown up on the stone there. Going to try and deny that as well. May not notice in time as well, actually, with the way these villages are going. Or, in fact, he doesn't have the stone to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So really having to commit there.
Yeah, he had to build that one tower to stop CL, and now he doesn't have the stone to build an additional one. So whatever stone he collects here might give him enough to build one more tower. Let's see here. Yeah, so he will have just enough to build another tower, so good job from him.
Whoa,
but that's going to be it.
Man, that's rough when you're forced into a situation like that. It's good that he got it. Absolutely. It was a very, very smart play, but still super rough that it's had to happen. And he is getting a couple of bulk up here at the moment. The blacksmith's getting thrown down. He's got the skirmishes, and there you go. He's found the gold as well. So he's in a little bit of a better scenario here.
So CL walls up the towers. I think he's going back home. CL is now building defensive towers. So I think he'll shift more towards a boom play now. Might make a few archers, but he'll look towards Castle Age. Bact found the gold in the back, so good for him. And if he can build a defensive tower there, I don't know if he'll be all that exposed. Though he is making some spears just in case Tim arrives, and look who's coming.
It's a great timing play. It's, again, that communication, just a heads up. The scouts have moved on. How are we going to deal with this? Get some spears up so you can be ready for it.
Yeah, but 2 spears, that's not going to be enough here. These are Magyar scouts. I know Tim has a few weak ones, but if he micros this well, and he is, he will kill the spears, and that villager's dead. I think for now, Bact is fine, though, because he's arrived with more spears. But, whew, that could have been much worse for him.
It's just really, really tight in general here. The way it's kind of getting played out, the aggression's good from both players at the moment. They're trying to really push out. Obviously, CL really kind of trying to hammer it home. But we can see as well the skirmishes, the counterattack is out from Bact. He's getting a little bit of revenge with the tower coming up on the wood line and the skirmishes. Let's see how we can kind of push this.
It's actually a brilliant tower because he's protected at home with spears. He knows that CL will not have any ranged units to come in, so he won't need a tower. And CL needs wood. Look at his map. He does not have a lot of wood. You have to push towards the center for wood as the game goes on. And if this tower goes up, and it will, obviously, then CL has to leave that wood line, which will make matters worse for him economically after already losing a couple villagers early on. That's an amazing tower. I love that. That's an amazing tower.
It's perfect. The way he's kind of played it out here, managed to get the hill bonus, pushed it away from that main source overall as well. And look at where it's had to push him back to, right over to the corner of the map there. It's just not easy.
No, it's not. The scouts from Say My Name are in Tim's base. Will Tim overchop one of these trees? It happens sometimes. Nope, he will not. And the scouts are weak. Tim has a few spears, so I don't think we'll see any pickoffs here. But you never know with Magyar scouts. And, yep, Say My Name arrives, kills the spear. He'll keep running around. Players will need to keep an eye on that. But I like Vietnam's position better because Bact is making his ideal unit, and that is archers. And wow, Say My Name does pick off one of Tim's vills.
Imagine to get the full walls up on a map like this as well. That's an amazing effort to kind of go for. Yeah. So he's very safe here. He's poking, he's prodding against Tim, like you said. He's managing to get the picks here and there with the scouts, which is phenomenal. Managing to get quite a few on those farms, actually. Doing an amazing job just to see his kind of opportunities and take them.
Oh my
and
goodness.
There we go, Tim on his way to Castle Age.
Yeah, Tim's on the way to Castle Age, but he loses another villager here. Say My Name has been on point with the scouts, man. He's done a heck of a job. And though he's later to Castle Age, I think I'd prefer his position to have 3 more villagers and be full walled, while Tim is not full walled at all. And Tim does not have an ally that's really in the game because CL is just playing defensively with towers.
Well, it's all he can really do at the moment. He's got the double archery up. Can't really do too much with it, obviously. Got a couple of archers kind of hanging around the back there, just trying to get some picks, trying to do that poke and prod, see what he can kind of get. Gonna get attacked by a lion, which is a little bit of a shame down the back there, but hey, he can try and get on that gold, kill off a couple of units, but this is really all he can do at the moment.
Yeah, and Say My Name, last time it wasn't the best game for him. This time around, his engagements have looked to be really clean, and oh my goodness, he'll kill a villager at CL's base, and he could move on and find other areas to pick off. Just wonder, once +2 defense comes in, once the extra attack comes in on the scouts, which is free, just how many more vills will he kill at CL's base? Because CL has no way of defending from this. He loses another one. Goodness gracious, what a play from Say My Name.
You're on it. It's such an open map that one player, if they can get away with those scouts and get into your base, that's just so rough in general. There's nothing you can really do to kind of deal with it.
And Backed is looking towards the Castle Age. Again, he has that gold, thankfully. And he's defending from CL, who moved in with a few archers. And that's not going to work for CL. CL doesn't have fletching. CL is just behind. So I think it's all on Tim now. Tim needs to do a lot of damage. Does he go directly to backspace? I think he has to, because Say My Name is walled, right?
Well, that's the thing. Say My Name at this point. He can't just get in there and do any raiding, do any damage. He has to just jump across, try and knock another player out of the game, and I guess even it up a little bit.
Yeah. Dude, full upgrades on these knights. I do not know if Backed will have the numbers of spears that he needs at home. He only has 3 spears for 2 knights with full upgrades. But Tim, you know what? He's not going to Back's eco. He's going to help CL's army out, I guess. So CL can keep his archers alive. And you know what? This could work out, because CL could then use these archers to pick off any additional spears that Bax might send in. So this is the time for Frantic, Turkman. This is the time, right now.
Ooh. It's smart, and your ideas are good, man. If these archers can kind of just sit behind and stop any kind of cost-effective trading that happens, use those knights, again, just to soak up the bulk, and the archers to kind of ping away at those spears that are out there, that's absolutely perfect. But the thing I'm starting to worry about, CL is just so far behind at this point.
Yeah, he's very far behind. And also, I just noticed, Say My Name picked off 2 more villagers in Tim's base. He's coming in with knights now, not just scouts, picking off more vills, so they really have to do damage versus Backed. And Backed has a lot of spears. He's killed 1 knight. He just needs to hold here, and then he's golden. I think they might have done just enough here. This is looking good for Vietnam.
Ooh. Man, they've managed to push it back. And for how long, though? That's the real question.
Tim's base. Tim can't even afford to go forward anymore. He's losing so many villagers. Say My Name is all over the guy. And so they took the... Oh my god, I didn't see, actually, that Backed is also getting hit. This is crazy.
This is an amazing level of play here. Kind of everyone... I guess, well, the thing is, Say My Name is everywhere. He's over-helping Backed out. He's back over at Tim's base doing some damage there. He's just kind of running around doing everything he can to kind of pull this game. And look at his score. He's so far ahead right now. His stats are awesome. The man's absolutely slaying it.
Yeah, well, if you feel like you're behind, if you feel like one guy's out of it, you should probably have him sling, and that's what's happening right now. Tim is receiving resources from CL. So CL is building... Look at these towers, man. He has towers all over his base. And he is sending all the gold, all the food that he gets over to his buddy Tim to see if Tim can carry his team to victory. It'll be Tim versus Backed and Say My Name. And Tim is a fantastic player, but this is going to be really tough because he's already kind of behind.
Oh, that's absolutely rough. And we've still got Backed kind of just poaching around CL's base, trying to get any kind of harassment he can in there, trying to make it just as hard as possible.
And Say My Name.
Tim, though.
The scouts in the north. Again. Again. That's he's getting close to 10 vill kills with these same scouts now. Getting such value out of them. What a player.
That's it. The efficiency right now, it's off the charts in terms of how he's kind of managing to do this one.
Yeah.
Man, this has just been what you want to see. This is someone maximizing every chance they've got.
Yeah, well, Tim, ideally would be pushing forward right now, but he's in a position where he needs to help his ally and help himself. And I think that's very good for Vietnam, because they will have 2 people fighting in the Castle Age, whereas it'll just be Tim for Frantic. I keep wanting to call the clan CL. It's not the clan name. Whoops.
Well, at the end of the day, it's one of those things where if it's 2 versus 1 player, what are you really going to do about it?
Yeah.
You've got just Man, so much more pop to work with, so much more just in general, the teamwork they can kind of display, the unit compositions. The options are just so much in comparison.
Yeah, well, Say My Name has done a fantastic job with moving his knights in, picking off a few villagers, as he's doing to Tim now, and then running away. And this has happened time and time again. Tim is forced to almost run forward now, so that's what he's doing, and he's heading over to backspace. We'll see if he can do anything. You know, Back's main TC is just wide open. He can't wall that area, so I'm sure the knights can run underneath that. But we'll find out soon enough if Tim can bring this back, Turkman. It's not looking great, but with how open it is possible.
Well, Back's got a little bit of a defensive plan at least. He's going for the double monastery, getting some monks out, can try and get some converts across there. But like you were saying, that main TC, it's barren. There's not a lot there. His gold, it's got a tower on it. End of the day, not really going to save him too much from a whole heap of knight raiding.
Oof.
But we'll see.
Oh, man. One conversion. He tries to wall in the monk here. This is nice. He fails with that, but he gets one conversion. Dude, I don't know if that's enough for him, but then look at Tim's base. Look what he's about to have to deal with. Say My Name and Back to coming forward. That is a lot of knights.
Man, this is just ridiculous. Kind of not even the teamwork at this stage, just the fact they've put themselves into such a better position after the starting point. I didn't know how I felt. I really thought CL was going to be in a good position from the start here, but he just didn't manage to do the damage and recover quick enough.
Yeah, look at this. I don't know if Back's crossbows really help all that much. Tim has the home field advantage, and he's not doing too bad, assuming he has the resources to make more knights. He might be able to hold this. No, they'll lose out in the fight, but it's just Back is getting destroyed. I honestly feel like Bach's now at 30 villagers, CL at 53. As long as Tim doesn't die now, Frantic will be ahead.
End of the day, you're actually absolutely right. Just looking at the raw stats.
Yeah.
Back has got a ram out, so it's looking like he will try and kind of clean up these towers around base at the moment. But Tim, oh man, it's rough.
I mean, the thing is, I think he was a little bit too hasty with that last attack. You know, he's receiving resources. He's building more stables now. I don't know if he needed to fight that last one. And he might live to regret that, but he's making more knights now. He needs to make up the 20 military gap between him and Say My Name. And I think Bax needs to send whatever resources he gets, which is going to be very little, to Say My Name, because he's really the only one that matters at the moment.
Man, just watching this, it is just getting brutal. Just military buildings are getting taken down. We've got that TC on the front now that's at risk as well. Heaps of stables towards the back there. Not sure if he's going to be able to get up to pop in time. What are we at? We're at 21. He's trying. He's
trying, and he's getting tons of food and tons of gold. That's the thing. CL has 56 villagers, and everything those villagers bring in gets sent to Tim. So Tim should have a stronger economy than Say My Name to make these knights. This is doable for Tim. This is doable for Frantic. Tim, I don't want to call it a calculated risk because I don't think you can really even calculate it. It was definitely just a flat-out risk. To send numbers to Back's base might pay off here, as Backed is pretty much out of the game for now, like CL was moments ago.
It's one of those things where it's getting into that territory where this is just messy, and we absolutely love it. What's going to happen from here, we're not sure. Say My Name is just pushing in, trying to do damage wherever he can. You've got CL just slinging Tim, trying to get him up into there to be able to compete up with Say My Name.
Yeah.
Backed is doing what Backed does, kind of just cruising around with a couple of crossbows, doing the damage he can. But CL is starting that wall off as well.
Yeah, Tim just needs to be patient here because, oh my god, the knights are moving in. There's so many monks from Say My Name. If he gets 5 conversions plus the healing, I still think that Vietnam Legends can hold this.
Ugh.
Man, again, it's so tough to call with so many knights and so many more coming from Tim. I'm looking at the numbers here, guys. It seems like Tim could clean this up. He cleans up the monks, and he has more knights coming out. Is he going to push this back?
I'm watching the numbers just tick down and down and down.
It's
there
like
go the crossbows.
50-50, man. More knights on the way for Say My Name, but again, Tim is closer, and he's receiving those resources. I think if he pulls back for a moment and then goes back in, they'll be on even terms with numbers, and they might be able to do this. Man. It is possible.
Say My Name just slinging just night after night across the map at the moment. Just using, man, he's putting up extra stable as well, an
Jeez.
extra 4 at the front there. He doesn't want to lose this one.
What a freaking hold. And the guy, as far as I know, he's not receiving much sling from backs. I could have missed it, of course, but still, obviously Tim's receiving a lot more, and still Say My Name is able to hold. And man, just look at the importance of the monks. You see these knights here, they're all getting healed up. Wow, and you know what he could go for? A forward castle, and here he comes, Turkman. He's going to build a forward castle.
Ugh. This is rough, man. If he has that as a staging point to kind of push for, it really means Tim's going to have to go for it now.
Yeah, and Tim just can. I thought that since he was receiving the resources, he would be able to catch up there. But either I misjudged it or Say My Name has just been beast mode, and I think it's a little bit of both there. He's at 40 military, and there's the castle. Tim, you're right. He has to fight this now to stop it, but he does not have the numbers to fight this.
Basically, Say My Name's just done a brilliant job of forcing the engagement here. It has to happen.
Yeah.
And here we go.
Yep. Wololo's from both players. Castle's on the way up. Say My Name just has more numbers. And Tim, receiving full sling, is getting pushed back. Once the castle goes up, he could just die at this rate because the TCs, I mean, they offer very little protection as is, but the stables could go down. What a play from Say My Name.
He has been incredible this game. He has taken every opportunity he can. The efficiency he had with those scouts shows you what type of game he was playing here. He was out to kind of pick every advantage he could.
Yeah, and the GG is called. No surprise. What a game from Vietnam Legends. They needed that. They tie it up with Frantic in the semifinal. It is now 1-1. That is a redemption story. That is a small comeback story there because Say My Name in the first game struggled so much, man. He had the forward golds. He was exposed. This time around, though, he showed what he can do. He walled up the whole freaking map, which is crazy. And there were so many impressive moments from him. These groups of knights and scouts that kept moving in and out, picking off vills and running away. It really kept Tim on the run. Tim only used his faster castle age advantage once. He only used his sling advantage once. And that was when he hit backed. But Say My Name was so good that back losing 20 to 30 villagers just did not matter. What a play. And also on the other side, we barely had time to look at it. Backed was pushing in with a castle on CL, which is the play when someone's slinging like that. Okay, so here are the achievements. Tim with more kills and more units lost because he was the only one fighting for his team. That makes sense. And I really want to stress just how big this is because Say My Name, he had more food, more wood, and more gold. That's amazing. That's amazing. He was up against the guy who was receiving sling and could add villagers into his economy. I was really impressed with how he played this game.
Man, it's just been a good play in general, both games here. We've kind of seen it start to pull away. A lot of it's been due to that strategy. But man, it's been great.
Yeah, great games. I mean, obviously both teams deserve to be here. And we will see Game 3 next. Guys, if you're just joining the stream, for some reason you just skipped through all the YouTube videos, or the YouTube video to get here, welcome. Thank you guys for watching today. This is BBQTurkman. Everyone's saying BRB getting food. Man, we don't get food. What is this?
Oh, I'm disappointed by this. But interestingly enough, did you see the picture I sent you in Discord? Because you should definitely have a look at that and tell me what's wrong with it. You should definitely just tell me what's wrong with it.
I don't see what's wrong with it. I don't get it.
All right, so what are those spears up to?
Oh, interesting. They're attacking a dead body.
I have no knights or scouts.
Oh,
in that entire match.
Wait,
they were invisible.
Wait, what? You couldn't see knights or scouts?
No, so if I was sounding a little bit confused there by some of the knight rating and scout rating, I was like, oh, that's why those villagers are dying.
That is quality co-casting from BBQTurkman. He didn't see any scouts or knights on his screen, and he didn't say a word. He did not want to distract you guys from the big picture. Oh my god, that's ridiculous, man. What about the first game?
The first game was fine. First game was absolutely fine.
Huh. So, you're going to have to fix that.
I'm working on it right now.
Okay. All right, that's cool, man. If you need like to mute your mic or whatever for a few minutes as well, that's fine. That's hilarious. Well, yeah, there were a few Ghost Riders out there, I guess.
Definitely what it was. I was just like hanging around being like, Oh, there is a big. So I had your stream up on the side as well. I'm kind of like flicking between both. Like, man, that is a lot of knights.
Yeah, I didn't even know, so you did a good job, man. Well played. Role playing Grandma, thank you very much for the 4 months. He said next game, anti-force nothing. I don't know, man. You got to be quiet with that. There's a lot of people who might riot. Little Bear Sloyd, thank you very much for 4 as well. Welcome. Hello, K the Foodie, Mr. Junior Hope, Night Thrower. What's up, everybody? I see the whole chat. Welcome. Again, we will have a best of 5 here. Well, we're casting the best of 5 between Frantic and Vietnam Legends. It's all tied up 1-1. We'll move into game 3 in a few minutes. And then later on today, we'll have SY and Suomi, which is a best of 5. And then the grand final, which will also be a best of 5 between the winners of the semis. So lots of expert Age of Empires 2v2s today.
And it's been nothing but quality the whole time as well. We haven't seen a player underperform. We've just seen players absolutely overperform.
Yeah, it's been awesome. And I think you had predicted 3-1 for this series, right? You gave an edge to Frantic.
That's it.
I probably would have given an edge to Frantic as well. So we will see. I think after watching the first 2 games, it wouldn't surprise me to see it go to the final match in its best of 5. So what I have up on my screen right now is the overall standings of the Escape Champions League. It's a pretty complicated event that spans over the course of a year. So I understand what people probably are new to all of this, as we've only been doing this for a month or 2 now. So the way it works is there's different sections of the event. There's been 4v4s, 1v1s. We're currently in 2v2. And so players win prize pool money for placement. So if you get semis and finals, you get prize pool money. You also get points. So if you look at the overall standings, Secret is at the top with 15 points because they performed pretty consistently with the first placings and just 1 5th placing. SY is in second with 9 points. So those are the 2 teams that have performed the most consistent. And then we have Frantic, and then we do have Vietnam Legends here. We will see Suomi later on today. So Suomi and SY, maybe things will change there. But this is something to keep in mind. The big picture is whoever's top 2 in the standings at the end of the year, which will be next year. Well, it'll be, I think, August, or maybe it ends in July. I'm not sure on the exact date, but it'll be sometime next summer. Then they advance to the LAN final. So they will be playing up on stage with casters next to them. It'll be a lot of fun. I can't wait to be there. Oh, we got a game. It's
going to be absolutely beautiful.
Oh, we got a game. Perfect.
Oh, you do. I'll be back.
All right, man. Yeah, if you have, like I said, if you're trying to sort out your issues, no worries. We'll figure it out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 3. This is between Vietnam Legends and Frantic. And this is a best of 5. This is the semifinal. And it's been a really close series. Game 1, they went for the same thing. And it was just that CL and Tim executed better. Game 2, Vietnam Legends, they had a slightly different strategy, as did Frantic, and Vietnam Legends ended up winning out. We have Sahara for game number 3, and I will introduce everyone. I assume Turkman, when you sort out your technical difficulties, just let me know, and I'll let you back into things here. We have backed in the orange. He's playing as the Britons, and then his ally in the red is Red, playing as the Berbers. And up against him then is CL playing as the Mongols and the Teal. And then in the green we have Tim. Tim is playing as the Ethiopians. Another open map, another map where you need to pay attention to the hills and the golds in the center area. And, you know, just looking at the civs. Turkman, do you mind just, like, muting your mic just while you're typing, if that's cool?
I'm done. We're good.
Oh, you're good? Okay, sweet. Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah, you hope. We have...
We'll find out very soon.
Ethiopians and Mongols. Just trying to think how this would play out in Britons and Berbers. I almost like Britons and Berbers better. You have the Briton player go archers and then have the Berber player go knights and camels. I guess we'll find out how this ends up going. I'm just really curious. Mongols will have that faster scout rush, and then they have the strong Imperial Age with the Mangadai. However, Castle Age can be awkward with them at times, and Ethiopians, I guess then they'll be going archers for Frantic. So are you in the game? Is it working for you now?
I am caught up, ready to roll, mate.
Did you see the starting scouts last time, or just no scouts?
So no scouts. I'm pinging around at the moment, trying to find them all, make sure they're all there. What have we got? Dun 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 dun. Mongols. Cool, cool. All right, so we've got the scout. All right, I had the scout from Say My Name, and I'm gonna do a quick ping around. You keep going, and we'll go from there.
Hey, I mean, if you see one scout, I think you'll be good. Hopefully, anyway. Yeah, good point from Soaring Ostrich in the Twitch chat here. He said he'd rather have Ethiopian archers than Britons. I think that Ethiopian archers are potentially better because of the faster firing speed, sure. It depends on how the players utilize them. But the big question mark I have here is over the Mongols. If their scout rush is successful and then their full wall behind that is successful, which we know CL is capable of and his map will certainly help, then maybe. But normally you have players investing into a lot of knights and lots of camels. And Mongols, while they get Cavalier and Heavy Camel, they don't get the final defense upgrade, so you almost always have the transition into Mangadai early. So I'm just wondering, I mean, it's something to think about as this game goes on. Will that be tough for CL? Because you have Say My Name on the other side, and he can go for full camels, full knights, a full Cavalier, and they're cheaper. But the bases are relatively wallable. Turkman, if you look at CL, he's already walling on the front, and he has golds and stones behind. You look at Say My Name, he can at least secure his main gold at the start and lots of wood lines. And same even for back tier, safe golds. The wood lines really help with the walls. And then Tim, he could wall it as well. So this might be, I guess, a more secure game for the players.
Well, after the last game, they could definitely be used with a break after kind of what we've seen there. So it was a very aggressive one. So to get them back into kind of these styles they're comfort with overall, we can kind of move from there and see exactly how they do decide to play it out. That said, I'll be right back because I'm missing some Mongol scouts.
Oh, really? Okay, man. That's cool. That's such a weird bug. You know, I remember there was a community game a while back, guys, where, oh, geez, CVAD. Thank you, man. I remember there was a community game a while back where someone couldn't see units or TCs. I think he could control things, but he couldn't see any units. It was a really weird bug. CVAD just gifted 20 subs in the Twitch chat. And I said I was going to wait to shout out alerts, but for 20 subs, man, I got to acknowledge that. Thank you, CVAD. Let's get the hype going in the chat. Let's go here. Game 3. This is the first best of 5 of many best of 5s to come today. Let's do this. I'm looking at the ecos now. Backed is surely going for archers here. Yeah, he's going for archers. And then Tim, he's going for archers as well. So expected. CL, he is up. There we go. Going for scouts. And then I imagine Say My Name will be going for scouts. Of course, he'll be slightly later than the Mongol player. So faster start for Frantic. Will Mongols work? Will Mongols work? That is the big question. You have Mongols versus Berbers then. So even if you go into Mangadai as Mongols, you could be completely wrecked by the camel archers that Berbers can make. So of all the sides to focus on the left-hand side. That will be the biggest thing for me. Alright. Archers will take a while to mass. Scouts, they have a more immediate effect. CL, with the faster feudal, got the faster speed, got the extra attack, and killed Say My Name Scout. And, oh, there's a hole here. He won't be able to pick off any vills, though, I don't think. And they are Berber vills as well. So they can just run. Run, buddy! You know what? If that wasn't a Berber vill, that's a dead vill. I didn't think... Oh, nice move from CL to dodge there. But I really didn't think that he'd be able to pick off the vill, but he got so many hits in before Say My Name realized. But that's not a big deal. A spear comes out, walls are going up, just that CL will be sending more scouts across, so you have to keep an eye on it. Oh, wow, he sent a weak villager out here as well. And, yeah, he's just making sure he's full walled. There is a gap there, too. His back's full walled. Seems like it. Tim, full walled. Even adding the stone gate. And CL is stone walling up. You see the difference, guys? You see how early the Frantic players go for stone walls? It's a big investment. You might need towers. You won't be able to build towers if you put all your stone into walls. But Frantic, they like to be secure. They like to feel safe, I guess. And who can blame them? It's just the gold that's awkward for CL. The wood line actually could be an issue if archers come over here later on, but is so much back here for a free boom. This main gold is going to be tough. And I hate to judge a top player who's way better than me, but that is a disgusting mining camp. If you get more than just a few villagers on this mining camp, it'll be pretty inefficient. But who needs to know how to place a mining camp when you know how to place stone walls, I guess. Very cautious start. And now the stone wall is going up for backed, which he should do. This shouldn't concern him, but it's concerning me. Yep. He'll be able to get that walled up. And a forward spear and a wolf lure from Say My Name, finally pushing out across the map. But what we'll likely see is the scouts won't be able to get through the walls. What they will do is accompany the archers. So Backed will have his archers, Tim will have his archers, and the scouts will need to be there as a buffer. Desert Foxy, welcome to the stream, man. He said, how many matches are going to be shown today? So we have this best of 5. Then we'll have a best of 5 between SY and Finland, also known as Suomi. And then we will have the winner of those best of 5s in a final, which is also a best of 5. So lots of games. Potentially 15 games today. It wouldn't surprise me if every set went to the final one. So it comes down to your economy behind this attack, how fast your castle time is, and then of course some areas you might be able to pressure, like this for example. You see Say My Name on stone early, which I didn't expect here. Maybe he's thinking about camel archers sooner rather than later, but Tim can obviously range that. And then the archers from back are still at home. So Frantic are being slightly more aggressive, and CL does click up faster to Castle Age. It's pretty incredible how good CL is in team games. In 1v1s, he almost shocked Valyria in the King of the Desert tournament with his insane castle aggression. But this guy is just solid. He is just solid. He rarely makes mistakes. He always knows where to wall, where to be. And obviously his economy is good, despite the mining camp, which bothered me. And he will go for 1 stable knights. At least, that's what I believe. He could always add another stable. And, you know, they're pressuring Say My Name, whereas Frantic is not being pressured at all. So it's very important that when you wall, you're aware of the areas you're vulnerable. And it's very important that if you're not running forward, you're at least communicating that to your teammate, because Back staying at home has really put his ally under pressure. You have to be so consistent at this level. And yeah, here come a few stone walls on this side from Say My Name. So, CL's Knights. I actually quite like the approach to not go for 2 stables, because I don't know if that will be all that necessary. So, he'll probably send them to accompany Tim's archers. Tim is later to the Castle Age, or will be later to the Castle Age than Back. So, Back will have a huge ball of Britain archers, and here he comes. So, I don't know. I mean, Backed with extra archers, and CL on the other team with less knights, that could spell trouble for Tim. Tim needs to be very careful with his numbers. He's already slightly behind, not only to the Castle Age, but in the total military count. There's TC from CL. He purchased some stone, and yes, he'll build another one. So this TC will be on stone, which is important to keep in mind. Will he go for Mangadai? It will just be knights and camels from Say My Name. I think he went to stone early because he wanted to stone wall, not because he wanted to go to camel archers. That would be way too early. And this is what I'm talking about. Back to hits Castle Age. He gets 1 archer kill, and he's close to getting a second one. Now, Tim is either house-walled or stone-walled. So he's pretty secure here. And you do need to be careful if you're backed, because the knights could be on the way from CL, and they are. But CL doesn't have a lot of upgrades. Doesn't seem like he's too concerned with making a lot of military. It's going to be all on Tim. So I'd say in Castle Age, Vietnam Legends can really push with this Civ combo. And then in the Imperial Age, maybe. Still not sure what CL will be going for, but maybe that will be an advantage for Frantic. But even this can
makes
be cleaned
a
up
lot
soon.
of sense.
Yeah.
A lot of sense. And I can see everything, and I am so happy you have no...
You got scouts and knights. Sweet. Sweet, man. That's
I have
awesome.
scouts and knights!
All right. Awesome. How do they look? How does it feel to see these knights and scouts again?
Mate, it's something indifferent. I feel like I could fly. I could gallop even. Gallop in happiness.
Gallop. All right. Well, you know, this pretty much proves my point here, I guess. Tim building a siege workshop, you don't often see that this early in team games. Normally you're relying on your allies' knights to come save you and not your own Mangonels. And Tim he's lost a few crossbows, and Bax could kill the archer range. He's halfway done with it. And here comes the military back from CL and from Tim. And this will probably force Bax to wait. Bax is kind of at the bottom of a hill here, and Tim's about to finish ballistics. There's no knights here from Say My Name, Turk. So
this
Bax
is
has got
rough, man. Again, we're falling into one of those 2v1 scenarios, and it's just seeing everything get cleaned up. Teamwork gets you that we've been talking about entire match.
Yeah, man, and here comes Say My Name, but it's too late now. A faster firing crossbows and ballistics now for Tim. However, you know, there's a lot of upgrades for Say My Name, so he could completely surround the crossbows, and he does. Very few upgrades on CL. But I'd say that was good for Frantic. That's what they needed.
Just looking across the map now, sorry, I'm just getting caught back up with everything again. So we're seeing full balls from pretty much everyone. So we've got into that kind of comfort zone we saw in game one from both players. Some really similar combinations, obviously just crossbows instead of plumes here. A lot of upgrade advantage, though, you're completely right in looking at that. That said, getting closer and closer, but obviously the bloodline's looking pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, CL has more vills, but he has less military. This is why the Mongols pick is so confusing to me, because you want to boom more than make knights, and it's not helping them now. Bact has that 8 range with his crossbows. He's about to complete ballistics, and Say My Name is destroying the crossbows from Tim. This is exactly what the Vietnamese players needed.
Man, this is phenomenal. It's just, again, good team play. They've got their just ups in the right places. They know what they're kind of committing to. And like you said, the Mongol player, they want to go for that boom. And in kind of going in that, it just means there's not really much that he can do to help out. And that's kind of what we've seen. Tim trying to hold his own here. And then the Mongol player not have enough to kind of come to the rescue when he needs it.
Yeah, I just wonder, and I hate to be this negative 25 minutes into a game, but I just wonder, why Mongols? If you can choose Berbers, why not select Berbers here? Because Berbers are obviously better than Mongols. And in comes Say My Name and Bact. They're really paying the price here. Tim needs to hope for a Mangonel shot. And that won't even work because Bact sees this. He splits away from it. And he will finish off the Mangonel. Tim's in trouble.
And with that range bonus as well on the crossbows, it just becomes easier and easier to do. CL moving in to try and help out here, but now there's no crossbows to aid.
Yeah, exactly. And oh my god! Oh my god! You know, Say My Name was attacking that archery range for quite a while there. He lost a lot of HP. That can change things.
Whoa, they got cleaned up real quick.
Yeah, and there's only 4 left now, and Bact's crossbows will die because of that. That was a mistake from Say My Name. You look away for a second, and it can change the entire game. Wow. But he is coming in with more knights.
They will clean it up, but this might be what they need to kind of get back into it there. Oh, man, just seeing Bact out of the fight a little bit like this a little bit at the moment. Gonna make it a little bit harder to kind of pull it again.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that Tim's woodline also is getting destroyed there. These knights just came out of nowhere from Say My Name. And Bact's coming back in. You know, Tim placed a stone just so the reinforcements couldn't continue in from Vietnam. It's still looking good for Vietnam, man. I mean, all the pressure they have right now, the Vil difference. Tim is way behind Bact in the boom. There's so many elements to this that are just looking bad for for Frantic and very good for free. Jeez, I can't speak, man. I can't speak. Vietnam, that's what I wanted to say.
We got there, and that's what matters, man. Even looking at the village accounts right now, for Bact, we've got 73, Say My Name at 66. Over for Frantic, we've got CL at 79 and Tim at 60. It's tight. It is still tight.
Yeah, I'm really curious when we see a castle, or if we see a castle from Say My Name, because this is around the time when CL with the strong boom would be thinking about his castle. going to Imp and going to Mangadai. And if Say My Name does the same, CL will have no advantage because the Camel Archers are the counter to the Mangadai, you know?
Yeah, I guess the Civ pickup's rough as well. And that's kind of what you were saying right at the start. Kind of getting behind that, choosing Mongols. Where's it kind of stem from? And it'd be really interesting to kind of understand if they had like a team strategy they wanted to go for, if they just had a specific play they were thinking, or if Berbers just showed up and ruined everything.
Yeah, and someone in the Twitch chat says, wouldn't Mongols be better than Berbers when Siege comes into the picture? Well, sure, but will they be dead before that point, right? There's different stages where Civs have advantages. There's Dark Age, there's Feudal Age, there's early Castle Age where Civs are better than Civs in late Castle Age, and then there's early Imp, there's late Imp, and then there's post full trade Imp, and that is when Mongols would be better. But I don't know if they can get there.
I think you're getting your castle here from backed right on the front.
Yep. I
Sorry
don't know
to cut
if
you
they
off
can
a
get there.
little bit.
No, you're good, man. And look, he's on his way to the Imperial Age as well. This is looking rough for Frantic.
Oh, man, and there we go as well. Double archery on the front. This is getting, yeah, rough is the word to use here. They're going to be pushing. There's not really too much they can use to push into this. They've got the hill. They've got an extra stone. They've got an extra gold on there to kind of work with. The double crossbows on the front coming up from the archeries. That's going to be an issue in itself to deal with.
Yeah.
The reinforce is going to be so quick.
CL's making a lot of knights, perhaps knowing that Tim's behind in numbers and that he needs to get lucky with a good fight. And he'll send them forward. Say My Name sees them, kind of runs away a little bit, and might run underneath Back's castle, and there's nothing that CL can do to fight the army on the hill next to Back's castle. There's just nothing.
And that's the reason this is so brutal right now. What can you do to push into this? That extra range about to pop in as well for Back, so it's going to be able to push his advantage even further. Of course, Arbalest going to be on the way after that. Longbows coming from the castle, though. This is, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even if he didn't want to get Arbalest, Chemistry, Embracer, these crossbows would be getting more range. And CL's thinking, I need to hit Backed before he hits the Imperial Age. I need to hit his eco. Well, he's already there, buddy. He's already there. And if Backed can just quick wall up his base, he won't take too many villager losses to these knights. And then Tim will just die, because Tim will have no help whatsoever. I don't know if Tim can hold on.
Even then, he's made some good defensive choices. He's placed his buildings well. He's got the Siege Workshop and the Mangonel out. But at the end of the day, Mangonel only has 7 range against Crossbows with 9 at the moment. I take that back. The Arbalest with 9. So it just makes it such a hard thing to be able to defend with. Like, the Mangonel as is, some good micro with crossbows in any kind of situation, you can get away with it. This just makes it easy.
Yep, and Backed did a great job walling up his main base and telling his ally to come help him. And here comes Say My Name, making sure he won't take any losses. Oh, Tim has crossbows here, though. This is interesting. Tim comes out of nowhere with these crossbows. So, Frantic can actually win this fight for a moment. But this is one of few fights, man. One of few fights that they're winning.
That's it. And at the end of the day, is it going to be enough as well? Because they're cutting through pretty quickly here, obviously making a little chance. The less kind of doing what they can, I suppose. But the Trebs are out, the battering rams are out. It's the beginning of the end for Tim.
Yeah. I mean, I will say we probably shouldn't count out Frantic because it is Frantic. These are the guys who they rarely resign early. You know, they always feel like they have a moment. And Tim is on the way to the Imperial Age, but still, I'm just wondering, what will CL do? He's going for Knights, it seems, into Cavalier. No castles, so he's sticking with Cavalier, which will be worse than Berber Cavalier. And Say My Name will be clicking that upgrade in a moment, so maybe it's just a matter of holding now at Tim's base and pushing a little bit if you're CL with your Cavalier advantage. I don't know.
Oh man, it's just worrying. Like, even looking at the skirmishes trying to put up against these Arbalests, the 10 range. I mean, you've got to push into it. That's the thing. They're getting so many hits in there for free, and with the Rams backing this up as well. Oh.
Yep, Mangonels.
3 Trebs.
You know, the Mangonels from Tim actually did okay there, considering, but the Trebs are coming forward. Still, the Arbs are ranging everything. CL, he needs something. He needs something, and maybe it is Mangadai. He's building his second castle, or sorry, his first castle now.
I'm having a look at Tim's base. I'm still watching this fight happen now, and really, Tim's holding it.
Yeah,
like, well, as soon as those
somehow.
trebuchets display, it's a little bit different story. But the thing is, he did have it reduced to just siege equipment there, just rams and trebs, so he was doing an alright job. But look at how quick that town center goes down. There's 3 trebuchets there, man.
Yeah.
CL looks like he's trying to get forward there a little bit. He's got the castle coming up on the hill. He's got Cavalier. He's gone down with the town center on the goal just to the south of the castle as well. So he's trying to kind of pull that one there, but just watching this, Tim's just getting gutted.
Yeah, Tim loses the university. I was researching chemistry as well, so he'll be without that upgrade. Not that that would have helped. If CL doesn't arrive soon, Tim will just get defeated back here. He's kind of walled into this corner. And even if CL arrives, then CL gets gutted by Say My Name, as Say My Name is building his castles, and he's adding trebs, and he has better cavalier guys. Again, the plate barding armor is so huge, and that is not something Mongols get.
Say My Name literally getting, I guess, out of position here. CLL literally bringing the cavalry, taking out the trebuchets, taking out the battering rams. He will clean this up, but Say My Name coming in to kind of finish this one off, I guess. If there can be a big fight here in the middle, it's going to say a lot.
Yeah, this is not the first time Say My Name has been a little bit out of position, I have to say. And that's an expensive loss for Bact. He loses his trebs, he loses his capped rams, and Tim goes, great, I'll just build a castle on the front and just stall here, I guess. There's no way, right? Surely there's no way Frantic can come back, but that was a good start.
Oh, that's the thing. It's what needed to happen. They got the expensive stuff, so they kind of turned the tide a little bit there. But we've got heavy camel for CL kind of coming out here, so looking to kind of turn the tide there a little bit, plus ballistics. So trying to move on a little bit. But Tim, how are you gonna? What's your plan here? He's got heaps of skirmishes. He's got a couple of mangonels. End of the day, though, those arbalests gonna just cut him just so quickly.
Yeah.
How is Tim gonna get back in this one? Because he needs to break this stranglehold. The back's got on one at the moment, and
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how he's gonna do it without Say My Name kind of moving in and being able to take the brunt of it.
I mean, they had one good fight, Frantic. They need about 6 good fights in a row now. CL's castle on the hill is dying, and yep, there are the camel archers from Say My Name, so he'll mix in camel archers with his cavalier. Berbers are so much better than Mongols at this stage. And CL is running around, and he's just slowly losing HP on his cavalier because he can't fight. And we're back in the same situation we were, Turk. Can Tim hold? Doesn't look good.
That's it. They kind of made a little bit of a push there for it, tried to really break out of it, and it just got shut down. It wasn't quick. Like, we did have a few wins there overall. Frantic. In the long run, like, they came and they got the siege, they got the castle up on the hill, but they've been pushed back into that same hold, and that's where I'm really worried that they're not going to be able to break out of this mold that basically VNA have already set for them.
Yeah. And again, just watch. I'm pretty sure with the numbers that Say My Name has, he could probably fight this versus the camels, because he has plate barding. I rarely see Mongol camels without plate barding, fight versus cavalier with full upgrades, but plate barding is the most important upgrade most times. But anyway, I guess the left side is not the most important, Turkman. We have the right side fight.
I'm just looking at the castle and the walls that are coming up now from back on the left of Tim's base there. He wants to force everything he can kind of through that strangle between the two castles. Delay everything he can. He's getting more trebuchets out from both castles. The siege on the front as well. This is...
Yeah, the camels are just melting to these arbs, man. So many have died. Tim's repairing his castle. Not looking good. Great game.
Max just getting the engagement here before it's even begun. That's it. They're just falling away before they can even get into range to attack. And pull them back. And the same goes for the arbalests and the skirmishes of Tim, though. Look at them. The arbalests are just going ham over the fist on them, and all they're doing is just cavalry.
Yeah, the camels are not good enough, and this is what I thought in Feudal Age. Just thinking, we're gonna get to this stage at some point. CL calls the GG, Tim calls the GG. It's very rare I say this, but I genuinely feel like this Civ pick was one thing that put CL in this tough position. He played well. He hit Castle Age faster. If he had Berbers, this would have been a completely different game. You gotta prepare. You have to strategize. You have to think about what civs you have available. And while the game was good for CL, I think that the reason Tim fell behind was because CL couldn't really offer that much with his civilization.
Well, he tried to come to the rescue whenever he could. He really did try, and he got lucky in a lot of those just combats in general, fights, just because Say My Name wasn't there, so he could kind of win it out overall. But that's the thing. He couldn't lend the support that was necessary, and he had nothing to really push into there. Those camels in general were just getting killed before they could even begin the engagement with any kind of cavalry, so that wasn't really helping the counterplay there. I'm not sure how they could have really done it any differently either.
Yeah, exactly.
Without, going back to the drawing board at the start.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, they played well considering their situation, right? So there's the KD. Back played extremely well. 177 kills for him. That is game 2 for Vietnam Legends. And we'll toggle through the eco stats briefly here before we move on to game 4. Ryder, I'll look at the clip later on, man. I'll look at the clip later on. He clipped me misspeaking. That's what he did. Trust me, I always go back and look at the clips. The other day, Turkman, I sang that Baby Shark song. Do you know that one?
Oh, I do, and if you do, we're done.
Yeah, so I accidentally sang that on stream, and there were about 100 clips, so I couldn't deal with it.
Man. But at the same time, though, look, you're an hour and 40 in, and that's the first one. For an hour and 40 of, nothing talking, you're smashing it.
That's true. Yep. 99% of the time, I'm spot on. All right. Geez, CVAD, thanks again, chat. I know that this happens while we're in the middle of that game, but if we could get some love in the chat, some of the new sub-gift emotes in the chat. Thank you, CVAD. CVAD has not only supported me with that, but he's supported me in many other ways as well. Thank you, man. Seriously. CVAD is the only person, or the only fan, that I have seen in the "Why are you making halbs? I'm not making knights" t-shirt, by the way. He tweeted that to me. I thought that was freaking hilarious.
Legend.
Yeah, seriously. A benevolent bloke, thank you for the prime. Mulan McNugget sauce. Whew, that's an awesome name right there. Thank you for the prime. Z to the ultimate, thank you. And Northern Swagger, he said, great play from Frantic over both rounds. Yes, except for that last game. He did say that 2 minutes ago, so I guess he's thinking that Frantic will come back in game number 4.
That's the thing. I'm keen. I want all these games to be a long series because we've been getting nothing but quality game after quality game after quality game.
Yeah.
And the more of it we're kind of seeing, the more that's getting out there. It's just a treat for everyone in the community to be able to watch this stuff and see just kind of the peak level of kind of hit with everything at the moment. It's fantastic.
Yeah. It's exciting stuff, man. I never really expected the community to be where we're at years ago. So every day I do this, it's kind of a blessing. It's amazing.
Oh, mate, you look back at it, and especially for such an old game as well, the fact that it's built up from where it was, not saying it was in a bad spot, the community's been absolutely amazing for the last decade. The people in it and the work that gets done around it, it's something else in general, what people are able to do with this and the passion everyone has for it.
We're finally at the point where the numbers of viewers and the numbers of players even really gives credit to the game, right? We obviously have always had very dedicated members, but the boom over the past 2 years is what Age of Empires 2 deserved, right? So,
oh, dude, it's one of the most classics of all time, and to see it kind of get back into this level that it's at now, it's nothing but beautiful. I was in the wrong generation to appreciate it when it was at basically its peak. I was too young for that.
Yeah.
Being able to see it again now, it's close enough. I'm just stoked.
Yeah, same here, man. Archkook, thank you for the prime, dude. He said, I watch you on YouTube all the time. Welcome to the stream. Thank you. We have 3 to 4 minutes, so I'll hang out with you guys. It's very difficult for me to talk to chat when we're focusing on so many high-level games and when I have a co-commentator, so I'll normally save that for in-between games today. But all the high-level action will be here. Later on, I'll be hosting the Escape stream, so this is streamed at twitch.tv/escapeaoe. But since I wasn't on the schedule for the first half of the day, I'm streaming that here with Turkman, and then I will host that stream, and then we will continue on. So Turkman and I will be together all day.
That's it. We wanted to get our sync on. If we're doing it, we're going to do it bloody right.
Yeah, man. We're not even in final form, chat. We are not even in final form. I haven't had any coffee.
There's so much left.
Yeah, I haven't even had any coffee. I decided to save my coffee till we go to the Escape stream. That way I'm fully energized. I'm prepared,
that's
bro.
how the hype happens.
Yeah, I'm prepared.
Right there. You've planned it out. This is a strategy. See, this is the thing. You're picking your coffees. You're doing well.
Dude, I just bought a bunch of like different types of coffee. Like, I don't even know the names of them, but I'm really excited to try them out. They're probably going to be awful because it was on discount. So, they're like, oh, this sucks. We need to get rid of it. Or no one's buying this. We need to get rid of it. But yeah, man, I'm pumped for that coffee later on.
Dude, if you find a gem in there, though, that's the thing you'll be stuck with now, though, because they're kind of discounting and getting rid of it. Like, I can never find this brand again. This is where my peak is.
That's true. Yeah, maybe it's quality, and there's like a special ingredient that's illegal, so they're trying to sell all of them before they get caught. Ooh.
Oh, I don't know what they're putting in their coffee, man, but I'd try it.
Yeah, man, it's America. You never know what's inside of the food and coffee.
Hey, look, well, we just had a massive scare that we had needles inside strawberries at some of the supermarkets. So
you had needles in strawberries.
Needles in strawberries. Like, if anyone in the chat, feel free to look that up. It's actually a big thing going on at the moment.
I mean, I knew that almost everything on the top 100 list of things that can kill you is in Australia, but I did not know that you would find needles in strawberries. That's crazy.
Oh, man, I opened a pack today, and I was, like, cutting into it, and someone in my house just said, hey, man, just so you know, there's needles in those at the moment. I was like, oh.
Wait, what?
Right, let's cut these extra small.
Oh, man, that's so weird.
Exactly.
I love strawberries. I'm never going to be able to eat strawberries with 100%
it was a scary moment
again. Yeah, jeez. So, guys, with me is BBQTurkman. So, BBQTurkman, he was one of the first early YouTubers for Age of Empires 2. He now works for Forgotten Empires, which is, you're heavily involved. You're kind of the community manager, right? So you're memeing it up on Twitter and Instagram and staying involved with the community members. So
that's it. Apparently that's how you get in touch with the kids these days. All they want is memes. I don't get it.
I mean, I get it. I love some memes.
Yeah, you're right. I completely get it. I'm all over it.
I mean, all you have to do is look at the T90 Do and T90 Boys emote, and I love memes.
Oh, mate, we're in the zone. We're that generation.
For sure, dude. Martian, thank you for the $5 tip. He said, I can't believe Aftermath and Tyrant Secret aren't in the semifinal. I know, man. And they deserved to lose. That's just how competitive these games have been. So I'm really excited now as we're looking towards Game 4 between Frantic and Vietnam Legends. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 4. This is between Vietnam Legends and Frantic. I will start off with introducing the Vietnam Legends team. And in the orange in the south, we have Bact. Bact is playing as the Italians. And his ally then is, of course, Say My Name, who's playing as the Indians. This map is Rift Island. And with me, I have the Legends, BBQTurkman.
Mate, you humble me every single time you talk. Towards the east of the map, playing for Frantic, we have CL in the teal playing as Spanish. Up towards the north, we have his partner Tim playing in the green as the Malay. Interesting, interesting.
Yeah, so different civs. It's a very different map as well, so I'll just touch on it for those that have never seen it before. You start with a pointy boy as your scout, so it's a slower scouting experience. But you have a different weapon.
It's sensual.
It's sensual, exactly. And so you start with that as a scout, which actually is quite important. There are tons of zebras in the center of the map, which players will be going out to collect. And also there is the water aspect around the outer edge. That water does extend towards the center. And if you look at this sand here, this is what we'll call quicksand, I guess. Ships can go on this. So that means if you were to dock in this location near Backed Spear, for example, you could send in Navy towards the center, whether that be demos, fire ships, galleys, who knows. So there's tons of elements. I mean, economically, Turkman, you have to focus on the food in the center to start, then maybe the fish on the outer edge, then the rest of your economy starting around your TC. And then with military, is it going to be water? Is it going to be land? Can you full wall this map? So many questions.
Well, that's the thing. It's only kind of been introduced to the pool recently, so we don't know how it's going to get played. And this is really the first kind of games we're seeing it get developed on. So, other notes as well. You've got the Rhinos, obviously, 2 of them per player, just looking at it overall. 400 food apiece. And then, yeah, it's a matter of when players do decide to move out to that center. The relics as well, all in that center area, and really towards back there, actually, as well, towards back and CL. Yeah, so a little bit of an advantage there, I would say. But looking at it's one of those things where there's so much food in the middle. Who decides to push out? Do you take it? What's the kind of game plan here? And we haven't seen much from it.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the civs, and I'm going to try and guess what we will see here. I think that they'll still stick to their traditional setup. So we'll probably see Indians go archers, maybe Indians go scouts and Italians go archers for Vietnam. I am pretty damn sure that CL is going to full wall this base and go for conquistadors. I'm pretty certain of that because it is CL, and there's no other reason he would choose Spanish here. Though he could go scouts into conquistadors or something. Tim, you know, he could go archers as the Malay. He could also go for water as Malay. We do see the docks coming up from everyone now at virtually the same time. So that's a tell that they'll at least fish. But we'll have to see how it plays out, obviously, Turkman, because it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, do you think players are actually going to push out to the middle here? Do you think they'll risk moving forward to try and get all the food? Or do you think they're going to kind of sit home, really try and utilize the water aspect of the map and kind of wall up behind that and not really worry about the zebras in the middle?
Well, they're not going for it right now, which is kind of interesting. I've seen probably 5 games at this level on this map, and every game I've seen, the other teams have gone out for the zebras. So maybe the Vietnamese and Chinese players have developed a new strategy. I mean, also, if you want a fast castle in CL's position, you kind of need those zebras. So it's kind of weird he hasn't gone out there. You know what it is they want to go for the dock first, because the dock will pay off better in the long run. So you'll go for the fishing ships first, and then maybe at some point you, in feudal age, go out there to the zebras and just protect your villagers with spears or skirms or whatever you might need.
That's not a bad idea, actually, because I think that's the thing at the end of the day. It is a gamble kind of moving out there.
Yeah.
If you do get pushed away from it, you lose your source of food, then you kind of have to figure out how you're going to build up away from that, obviously. Whereas if you kind of move out a little bit later on and kind of start to abuse that one once you're done with your rhinos, once you're done with everything, then you kind of have that safety behind it. But it looks like CL's moving out now.
Yeah, CL's moving out now with a ton of villagers. Oh, man. And, yep, there are the walls. So I expected him to do this. He needs to wall so he can protect his stone, and he has. I think Tim will try and get CL to the castle age safely. So Tim is going heavy on gold now. It looks like an archer and maybe a fire galley build. And he needs to protect CL so CL can collect lots and lots of reds. Whereas the Vietnamese players, they're both going up. They're both going to be fighting in feudal. It's kind of a risk, in my opinion, to hope for castle age on a map like this. But that's what CL's going for.
It absolutely is. That's the thing. Because it's going to be a 1v2. Tim's really going to have enough damage or stall them enough anyway that they stay away from CL. If it pays off, it'll be awesome. But end of the day, that's a lot to ask on a map like this where the center is so important. I guess if Tim can kind of poke in on back to push him back, push in on Say My Name, kind of push him back a little bit, and then just have them a little bit confused onto what to do. But I don't know. We've seen Backed is in there. He's scouted it now. He knows what CL's doing. At least it's an out-of-the-box strategy, and hopefully they're going to be able to kind of pull one away with it.
Oh, I freaking love this from Backed. This is such a smart move. You see what he's doing? He's going for a few militia and forward villagers. So he knows CL's style. He knows that CL is going to try and full wall and go for conquistadors being Spanish. So he's going to forward him. CL's going to need to respond to this, and CL, he's going for that back stone. He's going to have to build counter towers, and that means his castle, if he eventually gets the castle age, will be heavily delayed.
Yeah, all the villages in the front having to be pulled back to help defend this. We've got the mill getting thrown up pretty much immediately to kind of satiate the food income, so he's going to have a little bit to kind of work with overall. But I don't know exactly what he's going to be able to do with this, because there's the tower already. He's going to be able to push through the palisades quite quickly, so the walling is going to be a little bit rough. And then from there, we should see Tim starting to get aggressive soon. He's got his second dock up.
Oh, can Back stop this wall? He was actually blocking the Ville, which I don't think it was the best play. Sorry, yes, you're right. Tim is what, going for fires around the outer edge? Maybe? Yeah, he is. So we'll have to watch the fish. We'll have to watch this push from Back. You know, CL, at first I thought he'd be under pressure, but while he's losing a villager on his gold, his towers will be enough for him. And the towers from Back wasn't in the best offensive position.
Well, he's holding it pretty easy. Hey, we've even got the outpost going up, so he knows what's going on.
Yeah.
A couple of those men-at-arms just cruising around at this point, but that's pretty much the extent of it. I'm not sure exactly what he can kind of do from here. Back's just going to have to kind of push around, try and get a little bit of damage where he can. He can try and deny that stone in the back for as long as he can, but he's gone towards the stone to the north. And I don't know if he's scouted that, honestly.
Backed does not know it's there. 1 tile difference. I mean, mission accomplished for Backed because CL cannot comfortably go to the next stage. Oh, and I love this tower on the wood line as well. That's going to be sick. So mission accomplished for sure. He has been safe at home. I'm looking at Backed. Oh, Backed doesn't have a dock, actually. Backed is the only one who did not dock and go fish. So he doesn't have that small food boost behind this. And also, Say My Name lost some of his fish to Tim. So I guess Chinese players having a huge fish advantage right now. We'll see if that makes a difference as Say My Name arrives to the gold from CL.
Oh, this is rough. There we go. Manages to... doesn't get too much with it, but still, it's good picks. It's just good. And on the stone as well. Oh, this is brutal.
And the most important thing is he sees the stone is there, right? So CL has to leave that 1 wood line. And now he has to leave his stone.
What?
Oh.
What are we seeing with all these villages?
He had to get another wood line. That's just an epic tower from Backed, and I love this strategy, man. Vietnam Legends are up 2-1, and if things continue like this, if they can keep CL away from that castle in the Castle Age, things will be looking very good for them. What a play. Great communication from Say My Name and Backed. It just isn't enough because they won't have the fish, so theoretically, Tim will hit Castle Age soon. A CL could maybe even be getting by with a few farms because he has all the fish. We'll see, man. We will see.
It's totally doable, but right now the plays, that's the thing. The plays from VNA have been absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
As a matter of how they kind of decide to go from here, because they've got the advantage. Obviously, they've lost the fish, but they've got the advantage in general. So seeing how they kind of hold out and play from there. And another tower coming down from Back. He wants to make sure that when CL gets to Castle Age, he can't do anything.
Oh, and CL needs to rush down his market so he can buy stone to build a counter tower. He's also sending Vills around to maybe rush... Oh, no, he's going to build the tower there. Backed will get the tower up, so he's continuing to annoy CL. I'm really liking the style here. It's just the lack of fish, man. Tim is on the way to the freaking Castle Age already because of the fish boom.
Oh, it's perfect play from Backed. He's trying to do exactly what he can here, but at the same time, like you said, Tim is going up to Castle. Not Castle advantage, man. Castle units. They just absolutely chomp through everything. We're seeing Scale Barding go down. He's going to be in a good position here to kind of push anything back, and if he can get in to do some damage, that'd be nice. But looking at the team wall that's up at the moment, we're moving to stone here, boy.
wait, where's the... Oh, yeah, I see that. Backed is building that stone wall. Jeez. Well, I think it makes sense because they know that Tim could be sending pressure their way. Backed is kind of stranded out here with his few villagers and man-at-arms now, all of which are weak. And he's continuing to annoy CL. CL still has villagers in his towers nonstop. I don't think he'll be too worried about that tower from Backed, though. He'll just need to protect his stone. And goodness, this is sloppy Turkman. He's going to get the tower up, though.
It's happening. Not easily, but it's happening. At the moment, kind of my big hope is, like, this is what I want to see in the game. If we get there with a transport ship from Tim, he gets a couple of knights or something across.
Look at the dream. The dream is here. We are living the dream. Tim has transported villagers. What a play. And he's sending elephants right into Say My Name's base. And Say My Name is surely not expecting this. These Malay elephants are basically the cost of a knight. 250 HP, 12 attack. And Say My Name has not reacted to this. This is not his dream, obviously. He could be dead. He could be dead.
As it happens, this could be it. And there's the Siege Workshop down. He wants to... Man, he's not even trying to do some damage here. He wants to end it. The Siege Workshop going to be able to push down the buildings. And man... You're right, those melee elephants, they are just an issue. If they can get out there, especially in mass, he's got the double stable going.
Oh
this is good
God.
stuff.
And yeah, he has 17 fishing ships, man. So he has 38 fills plus 17 fishing ships. He has the strongest economy by far in this game. And CL is just holding now. I think CL will probably be happy with the situation. Oh, the elephant gets against the goal! Oh my God! Say My Name! Most of his economy is just in his town center. Tim could defeat him. Man.
And battering rams. He's going for it. Battering rams are for ending this. He's up to Castle Age, but I don't think he has anything he can really do.
No, I mean, he might have resources for a few camels, but camels won't be enough. He might have resources for a few monks, but I don't even know if that will be enough. Here comes the battering ram. He has to fight with Vills, bro.
There's nothing else he can do about this. Second battering ram on the way. Tim is looking at ending, and there he goes. Under there. Get the elephants under there, man, and just end him.
Alright, back in the town center. Back in the TC.
Everyone, back in.
Oh man, and I mean, it should be just a matter of time till this TC goes down, right? He's still forced to fight with Bills. Maybe one conversion will distract Tim's elephants, but I can only assume the GG was called there. We didn't see the GG in the chat. I didn't see a way back. I did not see a way back for the Vietnamese players.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think it's happening this late, sadly, but that is full on. I can't believe Tim got away with that. Being able to put himself into such a good position there from the early on. He knew he had the water. He could boom up with those fish. He knew he didn't need to overcommit. Just get up to Castle Edge, did the sneaky transport, and that was it.
Tim made no feudal age military on land, right? So he went immediately for the fires. He killed the fish and the docks of Say My Name. Bax didn't even go for water. So Tim just full fish boomed then, and with that water control, he transported. He transported, built the stables, and finished the game off. Meanwhile, CL, while he was pressured, he did have 7 fishing ships. So in reality, right now, he had a better economy than Bax, who was pressuring him. And CL was going to get to build that castle, despite the pressure that Bax had sent in. He had a lot of stone miners. He had lots of gold banked up so he could buy the stone. So Bax wouldn't have really been able to keep the conquistadors away anyhow. And that's definitely the game right there. We're going to show you the achievements. That was like a very short game, but I'll tell you what, a lot happened in that. There were a lot of things to talk about.
Oh man, it was well played. It wasn't like we were just waiting around and killed someone and that was the end. It was, we had the early aggression, we had the play. Tim just kind of, oh man, it was just smart from him in general. The strategy really paid off. He knew he had water, went for it, and that's kind of where it got to. There wasn't much that we could do about it.
Yeah, I don't like Bax, especially as Italians, not making a dock. That is a huge mistake in my opinion, because they're probably the best water civilization. You have the cheaper fish, the cheaper navy, so I mean, why not go for it? You could still dock there and send out one fire galley and try and kill Teal's fish, maybe. I don't know, but it doesn't matter now. It is 2-2. And we are going to game 5 next, and this is kind of what I expected from the day. I think with all these best of 5s, they could go down to the final game.
This is beautiful. It's just quality game after quality game as well. Like you said, it was a quick game, but oh man, it's what you want to see. It wasn't a straight game. It was interesting. Both teams tried to do something a little bit different. Obviously paid off better for one, but the thing is, it's interesting games. They're quality games. It's absolutely perfect.
So I need about 2 minutes. If that's cool, would you be able to entertain the chat? Maybe chat can ask you questions, a little bit of a quick Q&A.
Yeah.
All right.
Mate, shoot. Let's do this thing.
All right, I'll be right back, guys.
What is up, chat? The question is, what is up? Because right now, I got 2 minutes. I'm on T90. I figure at the moment I probably shouldn't get him banned by doing something stupid. So, I don't know. What's everyone up to these days? Like, what's everything's favorite about the community right now? What's going on? Come on, bring me up. Yes, I'm in Melbourne. I live in Ashwood. How good's that? Like, right next to Chadston. Brief summary of the first 3 games. Can do that in a minute. In fact, T90 and I will both do that if we get a chance. Where's the name from? The name's actually kind of a development from my last name. Overall, the barbecue's basically an Australian joke, which kind of we were rocking for a long time. Why is Empire Earth better than Age of Empires 2? That's a rough question, man. As much as I loved Empire Earth growing up, too many ages, way too many ages. Try to do way too much with what it is. Can I say I am the fat dragon? I am the fat dragon. There you go, have it. What's your rating? My rating, good question. Probably like 1400 these days. I just don't play. I guarantee it'll be absolutely horrible. I should really kind of get back into it, but it's one of those things. I reckon I stopped playing in probably 2013 when HD kind of came out, just because I was doing so much more on the community side. And at that point, it was so much more valuable to have someone in the community that was helping out. And I'd rather kind of go for that one overall. And no, I will not sing the shark song. I swear to God, if I hear it again, I might actually just die. And my brain might just explode. I'll have an aneurysm or something. Who knows? Forest Nothing or Black Forest. Black Forest if you want a brutal choke point game. Forest Nothing if you want a really entertaining game that'll go for a long time that gives you a lot of opportunity to kind of talk. Man, it's relentless here. I love it. It's just questions.
Lots of questions. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to get all of them.
I think I've been doing pretty well. T90's spirit animal. I feel like it would be the dolphin. Don't ask me why.
I'm
dolphin.
Just
saying dolphin.
The
dolphin.
I can't do a dolphin noise. I'm not going to try.
Intelligent, a little bit quirky, bluish, I don't know.
I mean, you were spot on probably until the bluish, but I'll take it.
Hey, I'm looking at the T90 logo right here.
Ah,
That's
gotcha.
great.
Okay.
Unless you're living like the Smurf. That was my joke kind of straight up, but I decided to rationalize it, and honestly, it just wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be.
So, guys, I recommend checking out BBQTurkman on YouTube. I know that you're not uploading too actively anymore, but he has a lot of videos up there anyway. If you've never watched his content, there's hundreds to sort through. JT Cruel, thank you for 5, man. What's up, Fatito? Thank you for 8 months. Trey W, thank you for 7. Thank you, everybody, for the new subs and the resubs today. Again, if you've been gifted a subscription, which a lot of you have this month, you can continue that sub for just $1. It's part of the September deal. I've seen many people doing that. I don't get a special alert for that, so I don't get your name on my list here, but I can still see the notification in chat, so thanks, guys. Hey, Atri, welcome to the stream. Hey, Bogus. Turkman just said you're a noob, and he'll beat you in 1v1. No, he didn't. Better not have said that.
Mate, it would be a massacre on your, towards me. It'd be an absolute massacre. I think it's funny, and I think it'd be amusing, but I don't think it would be anything close to a game.
There we go. New video idea, new clickbait. T90 massacres BBQTurkman.
That'd be great, and then we can cook a barbecue. I don't know.
Actually, no, you can't gift subs for $1. So a gifted sub is still the normal amount, but to people who have received a gifted sub, it's only $1 to continue that for the next month. It's pretty simple. Again, if you've received a gifted sub, right where the sub button normally is, you'll see that option. Living Hero, thanks for the prime, man. BBQTurkman, we have game number 5 coming up, my friends. Just seconds
I'm
away.
just excited. We've seen such good play from both teams at this point. I actually don't have a favorite that I want to win. I think at the moment, whoever plays a better game here just deserves it.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think it'd be harsh to want any team to win because they play so good, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final game. This is the best of 5 between Vietnam Legends and Frantic. Both teams deserve to get to the semifinal, and both teams deserve to get the game number 5. The winner of this will move on to the final, which we will cast after the next semifinal, which will be after the conclusion of this. In the orange for Vietnam Legends, we have Backed. Backed is playing as the Malians. And then we have Say My Name in the red. He is playing as the Huns.
Towards the east of the map, in the teal, we have CL playing for Frantic. And he will be the Berbers. Towards the south of the map, in the green for Frantic again. His partner in crime, we have Tim playing as the Indians.
Yeah, and immediately we have Berbers, my friends. We have Berbers. This is what CL lacked before, but perhaps was saving this for this map and this moment. Indians and Berbers versus Malians and Huns. I have to say now, I like Frantic civs better. So, we saw Malians earlier from CL, right? You have to think about when you're going to choose these civilizations. Sometimes you have to save the best civs for later on. Dude, I just, what do you do as Malians and Huns versus full Indian camels and full Berber camel archers?
Well, that's the kind of thing I was trying to get my head around there. It's just, you're literally running into some hard counters.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the problem. They really need to kind of do the damage in the early game and try and prevent it from getting there.
Yep.
As much as I don't think that's like a play, I guess it's a strategy overall.
Well, no, I agree. And Malians, they could be going for scouts into Knights and Camels, which is very good. And then you do have maybe the Hun CA, so maybe the Hun CA could be an X factor here. We'll see the style. I definitely think there's flexibility for the Vietnamese team. But dude, this is before we even talk about the map, which is very open. It is Serengeti. It is the map that I said that CL probably couldn't wall, but it is CL. So we will see soon enough.
I mean, I'm looking at his base, trying to see if he can wall trees. I kind of make it very hard, but I reckon it's doable. So we'll see kind of what he goes for. Pushing a couple of zebras towards the TC there as well. Really trying to max out, but I think you're spot on. Trying to go with those hit and run tactics early on for VNA, that's probably their best bet. And if they can use those to gain an advantage, that's where they're going to be able to kind of go into full Huns mode and really just push it.
Yeah, it's not like some of the previous maps where players could wall up and you pretty much expected it to get to the Imperial Age. It is a map that could end in the Feudal Age. It could end in the Castle Age. So we might not see... In fact, I'm pretty certain we will not see Imperial Age, Imperial Camels, Imperial Age, Elite Camel Archers. That's just... That'd be such a crazy game if that were to happen. I don't see it being that close. It'll be very open. And it's up to the players to find those openings, find those pressure points, and to hit them.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned that the game's going to they're going to be able to hold it too long and they won't be able to do that kind of dash damage that I want to see that'll put them in front and really put it where they can really win it. I'm worried that it's going to kind of get away from them, spiral out of control, and it's just going to be some good holds, some good defense, and then from there, it's just going to be such a different game.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to make some guesses here as to what we'll see. I think we'll see a quick up from Tim, and he'll go for scouts. And then versus him, we have Backed. I think Backed will probably go for scouts as well, though he might not be able to up quite as fast as Tim, because Tim has the cheaper vills. And then Say My Name. I assume if anyone on his team goes archers, it will be him, because again, he's the more flexible civilization, and crossbows, or archers into crossbows into cav archers makes more sense. And then CL, you know, I assume he'll be the guy to go archers here, and maybe camel archers later on throughout the game, but one thing's for sure, he won't be able to fast castle on this map without being brutalized.
I think you're just absolutely spot on. He's doing a good job trying to get the zebras in as much as possible. Really trying to kind of maximize on everything he can. And that said, he's only got 500 food in the bank. That said, I'm not sure exactly where he's really going to be able to take it apart from just some of the options you've kind of presented earlier. I think that's it. It's just going to come down to who has the stronger push here and who gets the better defense going.
Yeah, I just wonder if CL wants gold, will he be able to secure his golds on the front? On this map, I think you have 7 tiles, which is standard to be next to you. Yeah, so you have 1 4-tile gold and 1 3-tile gold. The other ones are going to be all around the map. So these are close to his TC, but they are forward. And he has not gone out to gold yet. So, hey, you could just go with scouts as both, I guess, but I kind of expected archers. Like, for example, you have Backed. Oh, Backed's going to go forward yet again. So man-at-arms and a forward.
Interesting, considering how it worked out last game. Interested to see that in essentially the last game of the series, he wants to game it again, considering it didn't work out for him. I wonder what has he spotted anything that's kind of made it a little bit more... Have a look at where both the lumbers are, the gold, all that. That's really together for Tim.
Yeah, it is. And when you're going with something like scouts, it takes a lot of time to build them up. So Tim would have to see this and react to this. I think the first tower for Backed could go right behind this one wood line. Tim could then run away and go to the back wood line, so he'd be fine for a while. Tim also would have that stone next to that wood line to maybe recover, but I don't think he expects this. Just looking at his scout, he is just now running forward. He hasn't scouted what his opponent is doing at all. Okay, but he can see the tower. If he looks, he can see the tower foundation.
Alright, so he kind of knows it's coming, provided he sees it. There we go, he's putting down a defensive tower of his own.
Oh.
The militia are going to come in as well, and a man-at-arms, there we go.
Man-at-arms, Tim, you gotta bail here, man. You gotta bail here. He loses 2 villagers.
Oh, and we've got Say My Name in there as well, lending a hand. This is good.
Great stuff from Vietnam Legends, and the tower goes up. Tim's is denied, so he wastes a lot of stone. And that is the price that Tim is... He's paying this price because he has not scouted, right? If he saw this coming, he could have reacted. And now he's trying to build a counter tower yet again with the little stone he has left. Will he even get this one up? Oh, this is just a disaster for Tim at the start.
Yeah, this is just, like you said, it's a map where players can get brutalized so quickly. The scouts are out on the tower, though. I don't think they'll be able to deny it, though. The hill advantage there as well. And that tower's nearly at 90% already. The man-at-arms are back in. That's just going to deny the scouts.
Yeah, well, that gave him a little bit of time, right? To get that tower up, to put a stop to this. Oh, but Say My Name arrives. So Say My Name went directly to Tim. It's just a 2v1 on Tim.
Oh.
It's close to killing
man,
the bill.
And CLL's gone for walls. He's gone for walls. You're right. He may not have been able to, but he's making it happen. And I don't know what he's going to be able to do. There we go. He's got a stable up at the front, and he's trying to get a couple of scouts across. Looks like he's targeting back.
Yeah.
Knowing he's gone forward, it makes it a little bit easier to push in on, but there's a spear there. and another spear, so he
He
might
should
be able to
kill
hold
that
this
Vil.
off.
He needs to kill that Vil. That Vil's low HP. He has enough scout. Oh, man. Backed walls in the Vil. This is so good for Vietnam in Game 5. Tim is like starting to stabilize, but the problem is he doesn't have the economy now. He can't make any scouts, so he can't do all that much now. That Vil survives.
And Bact is just doing that ring of towers. He's got the men-at-arms there ready to kind of hold off. He's still got his scout, so he can kind of deny the gold there at the back. I don't think he's going to have enough reach to really hit the berry bushes, so not going to be so lucky with that one. But CL, he's trying to do the damage where he can. He's really trying.
Hey, he's trying. He's moving around. However, everywhere he goes, Bach seems to have spearmen. Oh, is the scout going to get that weak Vil on the farm? Wrecked. That's hilarious. That dude was just walled in. Speaking of walls,
this is the difference you get.
The quick wall from Bach on the mill, so he saves some more villagers after losing that guy. But crazy stuff here.
That's the thing. You look at the level of play you see right now, and they're looking for those little kind of games.
Yeah.
Which is level and that they're looking for those little villages. The quick wall you just saw go down. These things are just pulling players so far ahead at the moment. This is amazing.
Yeah, well, CL needs to do damage. We know that because Tim is behind. And Tim gets a counter tower up. You have to give him credit. He didn't expect it at first, but he's done a good job protecting himself since then. And Bact...
Oh, he's doing a fantastic job holding on.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I guess Bact will now build defensive towers. You think that makes sense?
Yeah, I think it makes sense at this point. He doesn't really have anything at home to kind of defend with at this point. He's got the stone. And I guess it's about its stepping stone of actually making it to the next area.
Yeah, well, CL is in a comfortable position, I will say that. Is towering his gold at home. He's never been pressured by Say My Name. However, there's a hole in his wood line. I mean, Say My Name, if he spotted that, could run right through. Why is he not running through?
I'm looking at it right now. I don't think he knows it's there. I think it might have been just an overchop recently.
Yeah, that's probably what it was, and Bact sorts it out. Or not Bact, sorry,
there goes
CL
the wall.
sorts it out, yeah.
Good timing.
Yeah, very good timing, man. That could have been disastrous for him. That's a lot of scouts. I think Castleage will probably be on the way for Say My Name soon, and probably for CL soon. I'm not sure about Bact. I'm not sure about Tim. They're probably going to continue with their little tower skirmish.
Well, Say My Name's come forward with some villages and is getting a tower up towards that gold over there. He really wants to push in and make these scouts kind of worth it at the moment, because they really haven't been able to achieve much against CL. Sure, they helped out a bit about Tim, but Tim's stabilized and he's done a really good job getting this one back on track.
Yeah, and CL is building a second tower here, and I don't think Say My Name notices this. He has his Vils kind of walled in here, so he could lose a Vil because they're trapped. And one down.
Ooh. There we go.
He's going to lose all the Vils. What?
And we've got the scouts coming in as well. This is perfect.
Yeah, well played from CL. CL in game 1 of this series was just badass, man. Amazing carries. And in game 5 now, he's propping up Tim a little bit. I like it.
He's been a true MVP the entire way through this series. Looks like Say My Name going again for some pokes and prods. It denies the stone there for a couple of milliseconds, basically. But you can see that Tim's just on it. He's making sure he's not losing any extra villages now, building his way back up into the game, and he's got the lumber on, he's got his defensive towers now. He should be fine to kind of hold this one out from now. It's a matter of just seeing exactly what he kind of wants to go for.
Yeah, so the situation we're in now is that Say My Name will be later to Castleage. He is behind CL, so he could be slightly overrun. He needs to hold. But then Say My Name's ally Bact is ahead of Tim and will probably hit Castleage before Tim. So it is very important for Frantic that CL continues to pressure Say My Name, and as he has just done there with the Vil pick. It is very important for the Vietnam Legends team that they hold for a few minutes, do not take any more losses, and then they will be ahead.
No, you're exactly spot on with that. It's what we can kind of expect to see out of this. It's that kind of in-between of the waves kind of come over the best position. If you can kind of ride those ones in, it means you'll be in a really good place overall to kind of just push the game. But here comes Bact with another tower.
Yeah, another tower is still getting some use out of those forward Vils and man-at-arms. Tim sees it, is building a counter tower, and Tim should get his tower up. The question is, will Bact get his up? And I honestly feel like, it's going to be close. That's going to be a no for me.
Look, that's the thing. He had so many less villages there. I guess he didn't lose.
Excuse me, sorry. I'm allergic
in
to
a
towers.
relatively okay play. The trush, it happens. What have we got? So the tower got denied, goes for another one in the back line here, comes forward to build another tower, so he's just kind of holding this one off. CL's kind of trying to get in against Say My Name, but he's kind of moved the switch into Knights now, so a much more powerful unit, obviously, can really move in under those towers and kind of get a little bit of damage in there where it kind of counts. But CL's all over the map right now. He's got great map control. He's got his own Knights out that are on their way over to Backed.
Yeah, and I think Say My Name was expecting to receive the pressure. Instead, Backed is receiving it. Backed does have 3 Spearmen. Could be enough because he's very close to his TC as well, so he could just run around a bit. And Backed going for more quick walls, as we've seen a lot today. Backed, by the way, will lose his forward tower and likely lose all of his villagers there. And Tim will be right behind back to the Castle Age. This is a close 5th game.
That's it. I'm not sure exactly who's ahead at the moment. We've got Tim going out with Bloodlines, Scale Barding. He's really kind of amping up for those Castle Age units that he can really pump away with. But how's his eco? Even then, he's got the most villages in the game.
Yeah.
After all of this, he's still managed to stay in front.
Which is just incredible. Just incredible. Backed is at 31 villagers. He lost a few on his gold there, and it is slowly falling apart for Vietnam Legends. And Say My Name, he wants to send the Knights somewhere. He sends them to Tim's base. But Tim is soon going to be in Castle Age, and he's Indians, so he can make the camels.
There you go, and even then, we've got Backed powering up a castle right now. It's going to defend his wood line there, defend the whole front of his base across the town center as well. So he will be in a good stitch, but there we go, enough Knights to deny that for a little bit.
Oh man, yeah. Enough Knights to deny. A villager died there. A villager died on the wood line. I genuinely think that Backed wants to go into Gebetto, so I think they'll go Gebetto and Knight as a combination. But this is not ideal, man. This is not ideal. He has to repair the palisades. Otherwise, all the villagers will die. The palisade goes down. These villagers are destined to die. He's so far behind economically. It's just insane.
Oh, man. The castle's going to do a bit, but he's going to take those villagers and then get out of there. The castle's not going to save him. Unless that one manages to run away, it is. There you go. And those knights are out of there. That's a really good win there for CL. The castle did get powered up there in the end, but the villager count at the moment is looking rough.
And CL
28.
CL gets conversions forward now versus Say My Name. He even keeps his monk alive here, it seems. Yes, well played. And everywhere you look now, it is all Frantic. And who would have expected this after the beginning stages where Backed went forward? He just kind of fell apart, didn't he? And now Vietnam Legends need to push this back.
Man, and then you've got Backed as well, just killing off some little knights that are just low on HP. Some amazing play. Those Ghetto really kind of proving their use there overall. And that's it, man. We saw such an interesting play from Backed here that I wouldn't say it backfired or anything. He did a good job at the start. Tim just managed to stabilize so quickly after it.
Yeah, you got to credit CL as well. By the way, missed pun opportunity there. You didn't say Backed fired. I'm disappointed.
You're right. I missed that one, and I apologize to everyone in the rest of the world at that point. I promise I will get one.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get one. I'm in training.
So 53 villagers for CL. He has quite a few TCs up in this little compact base of his. Just wondering, I mean, he's already ahead in vills over his guy. He has just as many knights as his guy. At some point, he could consider going into camel archers, right?
Oh, absolutely. He's not pressured. He's kind of got the options at the moment. No one's really pushing on him, forcing him to make any decisions or any movements. He's moving some villages towards the stone, or at least one there at the well, so it looks like he's training them from the town center. So he's kind of preparing to go for it. He's kind of clearing that one up in the back as well, so could think about that. But there's chain barding, bloodlines, heavy plow. He might be actually about to make a pretty big attack move.
Oh my goodness, and oh, this could be so bad for Say My Name. He's sending his knights forward. He won't find any pickoffs there. Okay, he must realize this. His monks are all alone.
This is not a good thing. And Tim's come in as well with some camels.
Yep.
So he's even going to be able to come in and push this. So it's basically, essentially everyone's at Say My Name right now. There go a couple of villagers. Here come the monks, going to try and get some converts, but oh man, will it be enough?
Yeah, I think Tim kind of pathed the wrong way there. If Tim was initially in that fight, it would have been much better, but it's still going to be good for them. All the monks will go down. CL will get his own conversions. And the Gebettos, where are they? Back doesn't have the economy to get them here. He doesn't have the numbers. This is not looking good for Vietnam Legends.
Just getting a couple of villages there, just really kind of hammer home the kind of advantage they have at the moment. Really pushing everything, trying to get those converts. They can't push into it because the monks are just sitting there. They're going to heal them up as well behind this overall. Tim even grabbing the relics at this stage. He's a man who's in it for the late game and the long game.
Yeah, and it is one relic for CL, one relic for Tim, and CL is getting closer to building that castle, which he doesn't even need at this point. They're so far ahead already, but he could get there, or he could just stick with Cavalier, honestly. Is there an answer, man? Is there a response? Maybe it's the Gebettos, right? Like, maybe the Gebettos, if microed properly, can do something.
They'll definitely help, but I don't know if they're out in bulk enough yet overall.
Yeah.
That's probably the thing I'm worried about. If they're doing a good job stalling at the moment, and that's where they're really kind of starting to kind of bring this one back a little bit. They're not losing units they don't need to. They're holding it. But at the end of the day, look at the rate these people are building up. But CL's already on the way to Imperial.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. They have delayed this a little bit, but you know, the longer they delay things, actually, that just improves the situation for CL, as he will have more economy and more units and a better age soon. And the Gebettos take the top of the hill. Now, the woodlines will really help the Gebettos because they can sit in these chokes. But I think if you're Frantic, you can just run away from this and wait for Imp, right?
Absolutely, and that's the thing. They've got the full map control. They've got control in terms of their head, in terms of eco overall. So they could just poke in, get a couple of kills, pull out. They don't need to worry about any of that damage really kind of happening. They don't need to overly commit. They're in a good position. If a fight's not going to be worth it for them, they don't have to take it. They don't have to pull this back at all.
Oh my goodness, the Vil lead's just nuts. We have 59 Vils now for Say My Name, 85 for CL, and he's on his way to Imp. Then you have 46 for Backed, and it's 62 for Tim. And they've gotten into their ideal situations, right? You have the Indians on camels in full boom. You have the Berbers on the Cavalier in full boom. I think when Cavalier comes in, they'll take a fight, and I don't know if there's anything that Vietnam can do to stop it.
Well, that's the thing. They can't just continue playing the way they are now because it's not working and they're behind. To catch up, they kind of need to do something special. Having a look at the map, though, the way they've kind of played it out, CL, he's got town centers up everywhere. He's got all his military towards the front. He's looking really good defensively overall. He's going to have to push out a little bit to kind of probably take another wood line soon. But overall, I can't say a way they can really push him into a way that they can get that advantage because the Knights, look at that, they've got time to just get over there.
Yep. He could kill 20 Vils here and still be behind. That's the crazy thing.
That's it, man. And it's like, how do you come back from that? What can you do that's special to get back from that? Cavalier upgrade in the way. Tim going up to Imp, so we're going to have a full Imp team here. And how's everyone else looking? Back is nowhere close. And then we've got Say My Name. He's got about half the resources he needs, but he's about to have to commit those to make sure he doesn't die.
Exactly, so he needs to create more. That's the cycle they're in now. At CL, just waiting for his upgrades, chasing around Say My Name in his base. Once Cavalier and Plate Barding complete, he will push forward. He is really not troubled anymore. There's just a few knights, few Vil losses. They need a lot of conversions, maybe. There's quite a few monks on the hill. Maybe with 6 Cavalier conversions, you can hold this. But you need, yeah, maybe pikes. I mean, Say My Name is really desperate now, adding barracks, Turkman. This is going to be tough.
Yeah. We've got pikes coming in, we've got forging coming in, so he's really starting to try and maximize everything he can. He started to realize that he just needs that bulk at the moment. Even if he can just get some pikes in front of it to do a little bit of extra damage, take some damage overall, man, it's a matter of how they kind of hold this and move on. And the thing is, though, I think they may be able to hold it for a bit, but the moving on is the tricky bit. They're not going to have the resources to kind of get up into the next stages. Yeah,
and Bact moves in. He kills a few villagers, but he also loses the Gebettos. And I think he'll lose all the Gebettos once Tim gets heavy camel. Yeah, man. And then look at Say My Name getting wrecked now. I think this could be it. I think that Frantic could take Game 5. In fact, I'm fairly certain of that now.
Oh, with these upgrades coming in on the Cavalier as well, you've got Blast Furnace coming in now. Pretty much the last really bring this home. And pretty much every trade at this point going to be really, really hard to come across it.
Yeah, man. I don't think this really matters, but Bact could lose his Gebettos to the Mangonel. No, he micros away. But again, what really matters is that Say My Name has no help, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And it is Game 5, so they want to continue to try. They do not want to crash out in the semis, but yeah, there's the GG. They know it's over now.
That's it.
Wow.
Bad luck. But look at it. What can you do with that? There's Cavalier all through your base. You garrisoned everywhere. You've got Tim on the other hand as well, who's cleaning up these ghetto as well. So it's what do you do against this? The answer is you can't hold out against it. You can't build up against it. You just have to end it.
Yeah, and in hindsight, I do like the strategy choice still. And we mentioned how, as the game went on, Indians and Berbers would probably be better than Huns and Malians. So for that reason, I like the fact that Bax went forward. It was just that he didn't do enough, right? He didn't do enough. He took losses at home as well, which I think was the big thing. And Say My Name couldn't pressure CL at all. So Say My Name went to Tim, and Tim was kind of the punching bag, as he so often is, it seems, in these 2v2s, while CL full boomed, and CL just carried the victory home. What a performance from Vietnam Legends to take it to Game 5. What a performance from Frantic to win the best of 5, and they will be moving on to the finals to face the winner of the next set, which will be SY and Finland.
Man, it's just quality games. I completely agree with pretty much everything overall you've said there. In fact, I agree with everything. The strategy, it was good. The combination was good. It was just something there and the execution failed. And we're not... It's kind of hard to get in. I think Tim just held too well. And Tim is that punching bag. He has been the punching bag for Frantic here pretty much all tournament overall. You've kind of seen him just take hit after hit. Whereas he's got used to it, though, I guess. And he's kind of been able to hold that once just absolutely amazingly.
Yeah, and a small part of me is kind of glad that I don't have to say my name anymore. So get it out of the way, chat. Just say it one more time. I'm kind of glad that will be the last time to say that, at least for a few weeks. There's the achievements for you. We're going to have a short break coming up.